I'm Dr. Manisha Four from Vigyan Prasar. Welcome you all to Day 40 Techneev program. As we know, the Ministry of Science and Technology through DST, DBT and CSIR in collaboration with the Ministry of Earth Sciences is organizing a virtual program, Techneev 75, to highlight the impact of science, technology and innovation in creating social equity and inclusion on the special occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. The program aims to display STI empowerment and capacity at a societal foundation level, that is community. It is a series of 25 days in which we are going to discuss 75 technologies, or we can say 75 community groups and 75 change makers. Today is day 14. Before starting day 14, I would like to show some glimpse from day 13. We had primary healthcare and infrastructure in our first technology. Dr. Stadal Saha, founder and mentor JSV Innovations Private Limited from Kolkata, West Bengal, was with us. He proposed an ecosystem approach that supports and enhances the ongoing government efforts like shifting from doctors to trained health workers in the community and the transformation of telemedicine to digital health and the translation collaborations with ST institutions for frugal technology innovation. His approach involves training the youth of the rural areas and shifting the doctor's tasks to them. The workers trained in this approach are also trained to take a limited physical examination, and trained youth are supported by a digital software system for collecting quality data, wherein the patient's symptoms are systematically elucidated by a software. In the state of West Bengal, Bihar, and Assam, the implementation of 49 digital primary care clinics has resulted in the employment of 174 trained and certified community health workers from SC populations, and the majority of whom are women. As beneficiaries, Mr. Samulur Ravi Das and Changemaker Miss Pritikona Ghosh and Miss Sumita Mondal were connected with us. Miss Pritikana Ghosh and Miss Sumita Mondal are the health workers in one of the digital clinics. Miss Pritikana told us about her city, which was 50 kilometers away, where no one was able to get any medical facility properly. She have been trained and now working as a healthcare worker in a rural area, providing medical facilities to the needy. I feel very Atmanirbhar and feel really empowered, she said. Miss Sumita Mandal told us how she moved to West Bengal to search for a job. She came into contact with the digital clinics, got trained and passed the written exam to qualify as a health worker. Now she has earned enough and feel empowered. Mr. Samuravi Das told us how he felt very sick when he came into contact with a digital health clinic. For now, he is being treated well and is doing farming and other jobs. The second technology focuses on newly developed anthocyanin biofortified black wheat. For this technology, Dr. Monica Garg, as a technology developer, was connected with us that day. She told us how anthocyanin biofortified colored wheat is a nutritious and healthy alternative for us. Common wheat grains across the world are white in color, and the colored wheat rich in anthocyanin is quite uncommon and is not popular in India as of now. The color in the wheat grain is due to anthocyanin that have antioxidant activity. Consuming a sufficient amount of antioxidant in our diet help in removing free radicals from our body, and thus lifestyle disorders are prevented. As a beneficiary, we had Mr. Ashutosh Sharma and Mr. Puneet Hind, who adopted this technology. Mr. Ashutosh Sharma told us how they adopted this technology from Nabi and work as a bridge to provide seeds to local cultivars and farmers. He motivated the local farmers to cultivate black wheat. Now farmers also earn more money from it. They also procure from farmer and also have processing unit to make black wheat flour. Their products are also available on Amazon. Mr. Punithin also shared his view. He told us how he started from 4 acres and now farmers are aware and cultivate up to 450 acres. As it is a local product of Punjab, they want to work toward a vision of vocal for locals as a part of food security while providing food to the state of Punjab and Haryana. They wish to provide them with nutritional food. Then Mr. Sarita Godwani, State Consultant, Poshan Abhiyan from the Department of Social Welfare, uh, Women and Child Development, Chandigarh, Adam, was connected with us. She told us how the Department of Social Welfare, Women and Child Development implements this technology. They identified malnourished infants and children using Anganwadi Kendra and are now providing them with various food items made of black wheat. They are doing everything they can to raise awareness about the consumption of black wheat in the community. Srimati Sanjana and Miss Tara also connected with us. They told us how they came into contact with the Chandigarh Social Department and began using black wheat. Their children were underweight. Now she is giving it to their kids in various recipes and has noticed an increase in their weight. The third technology was food fortification technology to combat primary healthcare deficiencies and economic empowerment of dwellers in forest fringe villages. Dr. Indulekha and Dr. V. Raghavi, they are professors from Sri Krishna College of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. They started working on the upliftment of the health status of the tribal people by supplementing their food with the locally available ingredients and by improving their health status as our core objective. To achieve the objective, they identified their target place, Anekheti, a village near Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, where 80% of the people residing there belong to tribal groups. And the project coordinator visited Anekheti to collect information regarding the socio-economic and health status of the tribal people by providing them a questionnaire and thereby gathered the data. A booklet with recipe for different millet-based food products was given to the women in the target area. This way, they learned how to use the ingredients they already had in their home in a healthier way. The project is still in transit. We hope they will succeed in their vision. That's all for day 13. As you have seen how ST intervention has benefited people at the grassroots level, we start today's program to know more about such story. Today for day 14, we have three technologies. First is on the enhancement of livelihood for scheduled caste household through an ICT-enabled integrated rural nutrition center in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. This session will be coordinated by Mr. Prabhat from Vigyan Prasar, and the second technology is on fluorosis mitigation through intervention, diet editing, and management in scheduled caste community in Bihar. I am the moderator for that session. The third technology is on promoting a pilot of biosand filter for access to clean drinking water for future dissemination. This session will be moderated by Mr. Subodh Kumar, and the roundtable discussion will be moderated by Ms. Tusha. For the first session, I would like to invite Mr. Prabhat. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Manisha.
Prabhat sir, you are in mute. Could you please unmute yourself?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So I am Prabhat Ranjan and I am working with Vigyan Prasad. Welcome, Dr. Jayansi, ma'am. So this technology is regarding enhancement of livelihood for scheduled caste households through ICT technology enabled integrated and rural nutrition center in Coimbatore district in a village Madhukarai. So we have Dr. Jansi Rani. She is the head of Food Nutrition and Health Education Center in Coimbatore. This works under Amrita Vishwavidyapitham, and she has been associated with this institution from last 2 decades. She has been the principal investigator of several projects on the theme of food processing and product development. These projects were from various ministries like DSTs, Ministry of Education, etc. And she is also the UNICEF consultant and national resource person to NRLM in the thrust area of food nutrition. So I welcome Dr. Jhansi Rani, and over to you, ma'am, for the brief introduction on your technology.
Thank you, Prabhat sir. Thank you for the team for organizing wonderful cross-learning science and technology incubations. And for the organizers, am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Is the presentation visible to you?
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
Not it?
Slide is coming, ma'am. Fine.
Okay.
Yes, coming now.
Okay.
It's visible, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. This is the technology, science and technology knowledge sharing on the ICT-enabled integrated rural nutrition center, which is a unique opportunity created with the funding of DST. It's enhanced with information and communication technology. And this is a multidisciplinary project involving expertise from food science and nutrition and computer science engineering at Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham. The location of the project is at Madhukarai block, which involves more than 9 communities and villages, including the SC community and also the rural beneficiaries, targeting the rural beneficiaries. So this is under the DST seed SC subplan. And the primary objectives are all targeted to achieve the sustainable development goals 1, 2, 3, 10, and 12. The objective, establishing an integrated rural nutrition center, has a holistic approach for enhancing both livelihoods and nutritional well-being of the scheduled caste community of Madhukarai block. To set up an information and communication technology enabled IRNC is the thought which we have proposed across, and the technology which is evolving out of it involves the GIS-based mobile applications, image processing, and artificial intelligence and data analytics tools. So the livelihood improvement is through establishing developed technology, which is the information and communication technology, and also through the adopted technology, which is the food processing technology. So the nutritional health well-being factor and also the livelihood factor is being addressed in the second and third objective with the science and technology interventions. So the adopted technologies were solar dehydrating technology and the oil extraction, de-oiled extraction technologies are involved into this for utilizing the post-harvest, to avoid the post-harvest losses and to utilize the agri-foods for value addition. So nutritional and health and well-being objective is addressed by the application which is developed to monitor the diet diversity of the community. So the technology which is being adopted is the solar polyhouse, mechanical dryers, and also the oil extraction, which is the virgin oil extraction technology, which has a sound need from the community with the natural resources available in the community. So this is about the pamphlets and also the orientation of the technology to the community. And the community was oriented on the common facilities which are available. And there are two objectives, as we have been, have been very firmly believing on the livelihood promotion and also the nutritional and health and well-being. So the infrastructure have been started establishing and started utilizing. The common public have started utilizing the objectives. So the second objective is in bringing up the technology. That is the mobile application, which tracks the vulnerability resources and services of the community. So at the individual level, at the family level, at the community level, it is being tracked by the application, mobile application, and the data analyzed through this gives us the information on the communities, the 8 villages, livelihood options, income, prevailing skills, and what are the vulnerable population available with us, and the age groups, and also the entitlement services which they are receiving as far as the nutrition services are concerned. And also on the individual note, whether the at the family level, whether they have toilets attached, whether they have kitchen gardens attached. So these information are very crucial. Once if it is loaded into the application, it gives us an analysis on how the community is and in which aspects among the food, nutrition, health, and water, sanitation, hygiene, which aspect is the community weaker will be analyzed and interpreted. The second application is on the, this is all based on the anthropometric, biochemical, clinical, and dietary assessments which are made, and it is being fed into the application. The clinical symptoms are being trained to the community champions and the health champions. They expose themselves for the training, and they help us in filling up the detailed process of the mobile applications. So this is a glimpse of the mobile application and the data analyzed through the application on the occupation front, on the age group, on the age distribution, qualifications, and also on the habits, personal habits, vulnerabilities, diseases, and so on. So with the background information collected from the application, the second application, which is called as the diet diversity tracker or the food group tracker, is being designed. This is based on the 10 food group system introduced by ICMR, that is NIN. And based on the 10 food group system, we used to assess the community's day-to-day daily intake. It's a very simple application which gives only the information on how much food groups, how many food groups out of 10 did the individual took. So based on this, the information which is received is their diet diversity is only 1 to 2 or sometimes 3 to 4. So majority of the population is having a less diet diversity, and this is being tracked during and analyzed with the software on cloud on identifying which kind of food group is being taken on what days, and it also reveals such information like during the weekends the diet diversity improves, and sometimes during the weekdays it is decreasing. Sometimes it is related with the purchase power, sometimes it is related with the weekend money flow. So the variations by day and week are also interpreted through the diet diversity. So this is about the symptom checker, which is aligned with the diet diversity application, which gives us information on the BMI, on the height, weight, and body fat data, and also on the hemoglobin levels, which are being recorded into, and then the clinical symptoms. So based on these four, four information which is collected, that is the diet diversity, hemoglobin, biochemical parameters, clinical, and then the anthropometric parameters, the diagnosis comes in such a way that the person, the individual, I can assess my own status, health status, as it is normal, or I have mild risk towards protein deficiency, or towards malnutrition, or towards anemia, or whether I'm going towards high risk factors. So in such a case, the beneficiaries identified for nutritional deficiencies were 114 out of 200. Even mild vitamin C deficiencies, bleeding gums, have been recorded as symptoms, and these symptoms are identified, and the people are identified for their clinical symptoms and causes. So around 18 of them were found anemic, severe anemic, underweight, and then 40 of them were sent for the referral services like the primary health centers. So this is how the applications, the technology part. Is it moving? Is the slide moving?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I'm in the diagnosis results app. Am I right?
Yes.
So again, on the livelihood perspective, the center, the Integrated Rural Nutrition Center, acts as a livelihood promotion activity center, a training center, a capacity building center, and a skill building center based on the food processing skills. So the community is identified with certain income activities, certain livelihood promotion activities, and then they have been majority of them are farmers. That's an advantage, and the farmers were attracted towards value adding their products, and in that aspects, the oil extraction technology or the solar tunnel drawing technology were identified to be the most used beneficiary, friendly, the technologies, because the solar technology helps in drying their agri products, and then in value adding their products into oil, into powders, and so on. And they have been involving into a business model, and then they have been developing their own products, and also for their own usage, individual usage, at a family usage. So these primary processing technology support is also being, so the availability of solar and the oil extraction technology and the primary processing technology as a food incubator in the rural nutrition center happens to be the common facility and attraction for the people who are interested to pick up their livelihood activities. So these are number of beneficiaries who actually benefited out of these technologies. They learned, they get trained, and then you will be very soon interacting with all of them as change makers, as community groups. These are the products which are being identified for marketing with the FSSAI certification, food safety standards, and hygiene perspective have been taken care. And these are the number of products. Around 15 products have been introduced to the community, and the community is taking up from village to village. They are promoting their products, and village to village they have started their small incubation businesses. So this is helping us to reach out to the community with livelihood options. And the fourth objective is the improving the diet diversity through the mobile application and also through promotion of nutrition gardens and promotion of better eating practices and utilization of locally available food resources. So this is another facility which is available in the center, a nutritional counseling center, which helps them to identify the primary nutritional deficiencies through their symptoms and screening them. And then if they are very severe in their deficiency symptoms, then we refer them to the primary health center and to the district hospitals, and also support them with diet counseling services. So this is available, and training, trainings on eating habits, good eating habits, healthy food habits, promotion on locally available resources like moringa and the local greens are all being offered to the community around. And farmers are being introduced to this value addition process, and they have been oriented on the facilities of the value added of the facilities of the IRNC. And these are some of the products which have been developed, and the community gardens which have been, a lot of IEC materials have been developed for the training, and these efforts are now being very nearer to the community. Now I'll be running through a short video to show the significance of the center, and also very soon our beneficiaries will be talking to you all.
All right.
Just a second, Prabhat, sir. I'll be
Yes,
running the video.
Amrita Vishwavidyabhidam take this occasion to thank
Yes.
Amrita DST Seed SC Subplan Program for giving this opportunity with research funding. Integrated Rural Nutrition Center is situated in the midst of the community to support them with health, well-being, and livelihood enhancement through science and technology interventions. The center is supported to achieve its core objectives: to develop ICT-enabled GIS-based mobile applications, to enhance livelihood through adopting appropriate food processing technology solutions, and to improve health and well-being, facilitating via knowledge dissemination center, counseling services, setting up community kitchen garden, awareness, and various training programs. A GIS-based mobile app is developed to understand the background information at the individual level, household level, and at the community level. And another Android application is developed which will record the dietary intake, including food group intake for 28 days, anthropometric and biochemical measurements, clinical signs and symptoms of macro and micronutrient deficiencies on monthly basis for 1 year, and interpret the same with the respective nutritional shortcomings. The community champions were trained on the application and usage of the developed Android app to execute in their own community. The identified vulnerable population are directed to the Knowledge Dissemination Center, which facilitates them with nutritional counseling and referral services. This center aims in sensitizing the community on the significance of diversity in food groups, inclusion of fruits and vegetables in their daily meal, nutrient requirements during special conditions, foods to be included and excluded in their daily diet, significance of locally available seasonal foods, etc. Training modules on all the above said activities are developed for knowledge dissemination purpose. Pamphlets, booklets, and posters were distributed to the community. As per the data collected via the GIS Vulnerability Mapping Android app, the community around is surviving with minimum basic requirements and facilities for their agri products. Hence, technology on solar tunnel polyhouse is adopted and implemented. Solar dehydration reduces processing loss, retains nutrients, and increases the shelf life of the product. Farmers bring their produce and convert them into value added products through the solar polyhouse. Another technology on cold press oil extraction is also adopted and implemented in the center. Since cold press extraction is executed at the room temperature, it retains antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals, which neutralizes the free radicals and improves immunity. Farmers around bring their produces like groundnuts, coconuts, and sesame and extracts pure and natural oil from the same. Apart from the above two technologies, primary processing technologies like wet and dry pulverizer, vacuum packing, and mechanical dryer seems to be more essential in value addition. Those interested in food-based enterprise utilize the available facilities and convert their produce as value-added products like value-added batter, instant mixes, masala powders, health mixes, pickles, vadams, etc. Here, we would like to showcase with example the complete production cycle. This is the process of how moringa leaves are value added into masala mixes.
நான் 8 மணில இருக்கேன். எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் விவசாயம் தெரியும். வேலைக்கு போயிட்டு வந்துட்டு கொஞ்சம் வீட்டுல பக்கத்துல இடம் இருக்கு. அதுல கொஞ்சம் விவசாயம் வந்து காய்கறி எல்லாம் போட்டு கீரை இதெல்லாம் போட்டு நானும் என் மனைவி உற்பத்தி பண்ணியிருக்கோம். எங்களுக்கு வீட்டுக்கு தேவையான பொருளை எடுத்துக்கிட்டு 8 காலேஜ்ல இருந்து வந்து சொல்லி கொடுத்தாங்க. கொஞ்சம் காலேஜுக்கு கொண்டு வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வியாபாரம் ஆகும். நீங்களும் கொஞ்சம் நல்லா பணம் சொல்லுவீங்க. இல்லை நல்லா சௌகரியமா இருக்கும். சௌகரியமா இருக்கு. அதனோட கொண்டு வந்தா நீங்களும் வாங்கி நீங்களும் சாப்பிட காய்கறிகள் நல்ல பிரமாதமா இருக்கும்.
To improve the health and well-being of the community and increase the diversity in their daily diet, the center aims at sensitizing the community on the significance of community kitchen garden to grow their own produce. Various training was initiated cultivating local and seasonal vegetables, fruits, and leafy vegetables that can be grown on their backyard. Their gardening skills and interest resulted in better utilization of their own fresh produce, which increased their diversity in diet, and also excess produce were sold in the community farm outlets. These measures helps us to enhance livelihood and improve health and well-being of the community. Amartya Vishwa Vidyabhidam.
Prabhat sir, we are prepared with our community champions, Changemakers. They are here. If you permit, we can ask them to interact with.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
Okay.
Yes, definitely, ma'am.
Ask them to run through. They are all in the Integrated Rural Nutrition Center. So I can ask them to just give a view of the center and then a live video and then a live talk from the beneficiaries.
Okay, ma'am. Fine. No problem.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Is the video?
Ma'am, can you please stop your screen share?
Yeah.
Yes, fine.
She is now showing the community garden, which is situated in the Integrated Rural Nutrition Center. This center is at the midst of the community.
Okay, it's not visible, ma'am.
It's not visible.
Okay, now coming. Yes, continue.
Okay, this is the Rural Nutrition Center, and she's walking.
Yes, visible, ma'am.
Yes, okay. It's in the midst of the community, and it's just 200 meters away from the community and villages. And this is a poly house in which the community brings their sesame seeds, groundnut, copra, and some medicinal plants and herbs for their preparation, for the oil extraction. Sometimes they prepare their own medicinal formulas for which they actually bring it. Shiva, you can show the poly house too. You can come slowly. Yeah, this is copra and groundnuts which are dried in. There is a moisture content which is awaited for. Depending on the moisture content, we need to pick up the seeds for the oil extraction. So polyhouse saves nearly 2/3 of the time in reducing the drying time. And then most efficient drying is being achieved through the polyhouse. So people are very happy bringing their raw material here and drying it and then shifting it for the oil extraction. This is the frontage of the Rural Nutrition Center. It's a small setup, but if it is nearer to the community takes this help of completely utilizing the facility because they cannot invest on such a facility. This is a vacuum dryer, vacuum packing machine, and then the dry pulverizer, cutter mixers, wet pulverizers, packaging machines, tilting grinders, the bulk grinders, because the community utilize the bulk grinding machine for their functions, for their festivals at home, vegetable cutting machines. If they have a family function, they used to bring their bulk produce and then process it, value add it. This is a wet pulverizing machine, which is the most utilized machine because the community prepares idli, dosa batters for their individual functions, family functions. And then the mechanical dryer for drying various herbs and medicinal plants, which is another equivalent, comparative technology for the solar, for the research purpose also. And the dry pulverizers for preparing the masalas, dry masalas, atta, and then the oil extraction machine, which is a wood chucky, which is made up of vahai maram, which is a very special wood, which helps in reducing the heat while extraction of oil. This is a groundnut oil, the pure virgin oil, which is being extracted with the wood chucky, and it's ready for settlement for 1 or 2 days, and then it would be for usage. So let me connect to my beneficiary also when we are doing it. These are the products which have been developed in the Nutri Enterprise setup with the available machineries, with the available technology. When the science and technology intervention is happening at the midst of the community, people are able to reach out with good quality products, with livelihood options, with small business opportunities. Yeah, Shiva, you can move across. These are the oil containers ready for sale. And inside is a small setup of training institute, training place where the Food, Nutrition and Health Education Center, that is the IRNC, Integrated Rural Nutrition Center, is focusing on skill building, capacity building, and training for various activities in food processing, food safety and hygiene, and then on nutritional shortcomings and disease prevention activities. And this is supported by the nutrition counseling unit, which has a nutrition specialist who gives the nutrition counseling for the needy. There are screening parameters which are happening at the individual level, at the family level, for children, adolescent, pregnant, and lactating mothers. So this facility is being helping the community for identifying their nutritional deficiencies and diagnosing it at the right time, because most of the family members or individuals are not even understanding whether they have problems or nutritional shortcomings, and which is leading to serious diseases also. So this kind of a screening at the grassroots level is helping them to identify their hypertension, diabetic, and other screening options at the community level. So this, even though this facility is available at the at the primary health center, but such a facility is really helping them to reach out to the community at the base, need. So let me arrange for my beneficiary to talk. There is it is Malati who is with us, who is ready to share her experience regarding surveys and applications. Yeah, please.
हेलो, वेलकम मालती जी। आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है, यू आर नॉट ऑडिबल।
பேசுமா.
வணக்கங்க, என் பேரு மாணவி. நான் மதுக்கரை பிளாக்ல டால்கோ காலேஜ்ல படிச்சிருக்கேன். எனக்கு வந்து இங்க அமிர்தா காலேஜ்ல வந்து ஒரு ட்ரைனிங் ஆப் வந்து எனக்கு சொல்லி கொடுத்தாங்க. என்னென்ன ஆப்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, வல்னரபிலிட்டி மேப்பிங் ஆப், சிம்டம் செக்கர், அது வந்து இந்த 3 ஆப் பத்தி எனக்கு சொல்லி கொடுத்தாங்க. டெக்னாலஜினாவே எனக்கு என்னன்னு தெரியாம இருந்துச்சு. வந்து எனக்கு சொல்லி கொடுத்ததுனால நிறைய டெக்னாலஜி நான் கத்துக்கிட்டேங்க. அதுல வந்து வல்னரபிலிட்டி மேப்புங்கிறது வந்து ஃபேமிலி டேட்டா, இண்டிவிஜுவல் டேட்டா, கம்யூனிட்டி டேட்டா, 3 டேட்டாவையும் நான் கலெக்ட் பண்ணேன். அந்த கலெக்ட் பண்ண விஷயத்துல இருந்து என்ன தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டேன்னா, நிறைய பேர் ஒவ்வொருத்தர் வீட்டுல என்னென்ன இருக்கு, டாய்லெட் வசதி இருக்கா, 4 வீலர் 2 வீலர், அவங்க என்ன தொழில் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க, அப்புறம் அவங்களுக்கு என்ன இன்கம் வருது, ஆடு வச்சிருக்காங்களா, நிலம் இருக்கா, மாடு இருக்கா, இதெல்லாமே எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டேன். அந்த வல்னரபிலிட்டி மேப்பை வச்சு நான் நிறைய தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டேன்.
Stop, I will brief them. I just will translate it shortly. That Malati is explaining about how she get trained in the application and how she take this application to the community, and then the community how it utilized this application, and how she helped in tracking every individual houses to find out the vulnerable age groups, kitchen garden numbers, toilet beneficiaries, and then so on. So she is here to explain us how she learned the application, the technology, and also she implemented it in the community. She is continuing.
சிம்டம் செக்கர் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, என்ன இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொன்னா, நம்ம என்ன விதமான உணவுகள் சாப்பிடுறோம், எந்த மாதிரி உணவுகள் எல்லாம் நம்ம எடுத்துக்கிறோம், அதை வந்து 28 நாளைக்கு கண்டினியூஸா எங்க கம்யூனிட்டியில போய் நான் டேட்டா கலெக்ட் பண்ணோம். அதுல வந்து நிறைய பேர் வந்து நிறைய உணவு சாப்பிடுறது இல்ல, ஹெல்த்தியா சாப்பிடுறது இல்ல, நிறைய பேர் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா ஜங்க் ஃப்ரூட்ஸ் எல்லாம் நிறைய எடுத்துக்கிறாங்க. அதனால எங்களுக்கு என்னங்கிறது நிறைய வந்து அவங்க சாப்பிடாம, ஹெல்த்தி ஃபுட் எல்லாம் சாப்பிடாம இருக்கிறாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி நான் தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டேங்க. அப்புறம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, சிம்டம் செக்கர்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு ஆப் இருக்கு. அதுல வந்து ஒருத்தரோட ஹைட்டு, வெயிட்டு, பிஎம்ஐ, ஹீமோகுளோபின் லெவல், பிஎம்ஆர், இது எல்லாமே நான் வந்து என் கம்யூனிட்டிக்குள்ள தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டேங்க. அந்த ஹைட்டு, வெயிட்டு எல்லாத்தையும் பார்த்து அவங்களுக்கு ஊட்டச்சத்து குறைபாடு இருக்கு அப்படிங்கறது வந்து தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டாங்க. தெரிஞ்சதுல யாரெல்லாம் குறைபாடோட இருக்காங்களோ அவங்களையெல்லாம் இந்த கம்யூனிட்டி சென்டருக்கு வந்து நான் ரெஃபர் பண்ணேன். டயட் கவுன்சிலிங்காக நான் ரெஃபர் பண்ணேன். பண்ணாங்க. அதுல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா நிறைய பேர் பயன்படுத்திருக்காங்க. எங்க கிராமத்துல வந்து டெக்னாலஜி பத்தி எதுவும் தெரியாம இருந்துச்சு. இப்ப இந்த ஆப் மூலியமா நாங்க வந்து எத்தனை பேரு என்ன விதமான உணவுகள் உண்ணுறாங்க, ஊட்டச்சத்து குறைபாடோட இருக்காங்க அப்படிங்கறது தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டு நிறைய பேர் அங்க போய் கவுன்சிலிங் பண்ணிட்டு வந்ததுனால நல்லா இருக்காங்க, நிறைய இம்ப்ரூவ் ஆயிருக்காங்க. நன்றி.
Thank you. Actually, she is mentioning that the application which is developed is taken to the community, and the community members were able to know about the shortcomings of the nutritional diseases through this kind of applications. Like they are able to connect the reasons why. I mean, because is it because of sanitation I'm falling sick, or is it because of purchase power and less diet diversity I'm falling sick? Is it because of not following unbalanced food? So the community is able to grasp. Earlier they didn't know why they are getting this deficiency and what is the reason for these deficiency, but now they are able to connect. And some non-synergistic combination of foods which they were following were also identified, so that more eating of coffee, tea during pregnancy, which they didn't even understood the value behind or the connectivity. So it is all being briefed and through the technology application, but this is not a hindrance to us. Internet is available, as these villages are very much nearer to the urban. Most of the urban eating habits have due to transition had reached the villages and made them understood that they have almost lost their traditional ethnic food habits. So somehow the connect have to happen, and that's where the technology is playing a very crucial role. The next beneficiary from the center is Mrs. Manimegalai. She is daughter of Annapurni.
Dr. Jansi, if you can ask her, Malti, one question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Regarding what kind of challenges she faced when she went to communities, and the education level was like at lower level in the communities. So what kind of challenges she faced in convincing them that you have to go or you should do these kind of fortified or modified food processing, or you should adopt these kind of technologies?
மாலதி, சார் ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்கிறாங்கம்மா உங்களை. நீங்க ஃபீல்டுக்கு போகும்போது இந்த டெக்னாலஜியை, இந்த அப்ளிகேஷனை நீங்க ஃபீல்டுக்கு எடுத்துட்டு போகும்போது என்ன வகையான சவால்களை நீங்க சந்திச்சீங்க?
If you can give one or two questions or one or two experiences.
ஒன்னு ரெண்டு உங்களோட எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸை சொல்லுங்க அங்க நடந்ததுல.
போய் நம்ம கேட்கும்போது அவங்க என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க, எதுக்காக அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கேட்பாங்க. அவாய்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க, எனக்கு இது வேண்டாம், எனக்கு இது இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இல்லை, நீங்க யாரு என்ன. அதுக்கு வந்து நாங்க எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணணும். எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணிட்டு தான் நாங்க அந்த ஆப்பை பத்தி அவங்களுக்கு நாங்க சொல்லி கொடுப்போங்க. படிச்சவங்களா இருந்தா சீக்கிரம் புரிஞ்சுக்கிறாங்க. படிக்காதவங்க அவங்களுக்கு எதுவுமே தெரியாம இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னா கொஞ்சம் புரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்கு லேட் ஆகுதுங்க. கொஞ்சம் ஆப் பத்தி, டெக்னாலஜி பத்தி சொல்லி கொடுக்கறதுக்கு கொஞ்சம் லேட் ஆகுது. அப்புறம் ஃபுட் குரூப்பை பத்தி நாங்க போய் எடுத்தோம். குரூப்ல போய் நாங்க எடுத்து கேட்க செஞ்சோம்னா அவங்க கிட்ட எதுக்காக அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கேக்குறாங்க. எதுக்காகன்னா பிளேட் எல்லாம் நாங்க பார்த்து கேட்போம். சாப்பாடுல தினமும் வந்து எதுக்காக நீங்க வந்து எடுக்கிறீங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கேட்பாங்க. நாங்க வந்து இல்ல, இத நீங்க சாப்பிடுறத வச்சுதான் நாங்க அனலைஸ் பண்ண முடியும், உங்களுக்கு ஊட்டச்சத்து என்ன குறைபாடு இருக்குன்னு சொல்லி நாங்க தெரிஞ்சுக்க முடியும். அப்ப எந்த சினர்ஜிக் ஃபுட்ஸ்ன்னு சொல்லி எங்களுக்கு சொல்லி கொடுத்தாங்க. அதெல்லாம் நீங்க சாப்பிடுறீங்களான்னு தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்காக நான் வந்து இது மாதிரி எடுத்தேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நாங்க இப்போ சிம்டம் செக்கர் செக் பண்ணும்போது அவங்களோட சிம்டம் செக்கர் செக் பண்ணும்போது அவங்க ஒரு சில பேர் இன்ட்ரெஸ்டா வருவாங்க. ஹைட்டு, வெயிட், பிஎம்ஐ எல்லாம் செக் பண்றதுக்கு வருவாங்க. ஹீமோகுளோபின் என்னோட உடம்புல வந்து எவ்வளவு ரத்தம் இருக்குன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அது கேட்கறதுக்காக வருவாங்க. அது வந்தாலும் அவங்க நிறைய பேர் வந்து எடுத்துட்டு போனாங்க. அது சிம்டம் செக்கர் பத்தி எடுக்கும்போது எங்களுக்கு வந்து எல்லாருமே கோஆபரேட் பண்ணாங்க. இது பரவாயில்ல, இது வந்து எங்களுக்கு யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கு, நாங்க வெளியில போய் எடுக்க வேண்டியதுன்னா நீங்களே எல்லாமே எடுத்து தரீங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி எங்களுக்கு யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கு.
Malati is giving her experience when she was taking this technology application to the community. The community was first not at all receiving it in a healthy way. They say that we don't have much time with us to interact with you as we are rushing to our jobs, to our works. Even some housewives, those who are at home also, used to tell that we are not much interested in learning this. But those who have minimum education, those who have gone for higher education, those and the youngsters were the main advantages population. I mean, they learned, they were highly interested. If the age group is beyond 40, they are not much interested, but the lesser age groups, the younger people, were more interested towards learning the technology and also in utilizing the technology. So education plays a very important role here as far as her experience is concerned.
So, Dr. Jansi, if you can tell us that in how many villages you have reached out so far, and means how many number of beneficiaries will be like benefited by these technologies, specifically women beneficiaries.
Sir, actually, we have reached out 9 villages so far in these 2
all
years.
in Coimbatore district.
Yes, sir. In Coimbatore district, in Madhukkarai block.
Okay, okay.
That is our geography and population. And we were able to reach out for all the 4 objectives in popularizing the rural nutrition center, and also in involving them into livelihood activities, and to make them understand the health and well-being facilities which are available here, and also on the technology part. So when we are reaching out, we were able to reach 9 villages, and beneficiaries so far we have covered 1,700, 1,800 odd, directly one-to-one. And then
Okay.
those who have been promoted for livelihood activities are around 60 to 62 of them.
Okay, fair
And
enough.
beneficiaries were good numbers, sir, because they started utilizing such a facility for their family functions, for their individual level needs. So that is actually satisfying us. Like they are able to reach out to this common facility for needs.
Dr. Jansi, what is your experience specifically when we are talking about food technologies, the male members of family coming out and learning these technologies, getting adapted to these technologies? Because, means these technologies, when you are reaching out to the female members or women members, means males may not be much interested. So what is your experience?
Sir, actually, we have a good story with us, and also a success story with us. He is Mr. Prem. He will be interacting with us shortly. And we don't find such hindrances among the gender, sir. As it is food and food processing, usually our common experiences are it will be flourishing with training centers with women and women beneficiaries. But that is not the case here. Here the youngsters, the educated young population are highly interested to take up small businesses. Especially Mr. Prem is a farmer basically, but he is taking up small businesses through the center, and is now improving his confidence level. So not only one Prem as a success story, sir, but we are identifying many college students, even college students who are farmers students. They are actually taking up initiatives like buying raw materials, agri foods from the farmers, and then taking bringing it here and value adding it into oil, and value adding it into masala roasted products, and actually involving some kind of a money for their, pocket money for their education also. So that was actually surprising facts when youngsters were involved into it. Some boys are also involving themselves. We are especially targeting on the younger generations, the younger in the sense before 40, because that's
okay, ma'am. So we'll be happy to listen to Mr. Prem Kumar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's here. He'll be interacting. Prem is here, sir. He is actually a farmer's son, but he has graduated with an MBA degree in the nearer college. And he was helping out his father, who's an agriculturist. And Prem, could you speak out?
Namaskar, Premji.
Can you please increase your audio or come nearer to Prem?
எங்க தாத்தா அப்பா எல்லாம் பழங்காலமா விவசாயம் செஞ்சுட்டு வந்துட்டு இருக்காங்க. நான் இப்ப MBA கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணிட்டு நானும் விவசாயம் பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்ட்டு பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேங்க. எனக்கு 3 ஏக்கர் விவசாய பூமி இருக்கு.
Prem is explaining that he has got 3 acres of land and he and his father is doing agriculture as livelihood. And
எனக்கு 3 ஏக்கர் விவசாய பூமி இருக்கு. அதுல வந்து நிலக்கடலை வந்து பயிரிட்டு வரோம். அதாவது ஏப்ரல் 2 மாசம் நிலக்கடலை பயிரிட்டு நாங்க டைரக்டா வந்து அந்த நிலக்கடலை விற்பனையாளர்களுக்கு டைரக்டா ஹோல்சேல்ல விற்பனை செஞ்சுருக்கோம். எங்களுக்கு இங்க அந்த 3 ஏக்கர் வந்து நாங்க ஒரு 1500 ரூபாய் வந்து சாகுபடி பண்ணுவோம். 1500 ரூபாய் ஒவ்வொரு வருஷத்துக்கு ஒவ்வொரு மாதிரி ரேட் வரும். 25, 23, 26 அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி பர் கேஜி வரும். அதுல வந்துங்க 25 ரூபாய்க்கு நாங்க ஆவரேஜா நாங்க கொடுத்துருவோம். அப்புறம் தான் எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சது எங்க அருகில் எங்க கிராமத்துக்கு அருகில் நியூட்ரிஷன் சென்டர் இருக்கிற மாதிரி. அப்புறம் அவங்களை கான்டாக்ட் பண்ணா அவங்களுக்கு எனக்கு வந்து அப்ரோச் பண்ணாங்க. இங்கே சூரிய உலர்த்தி குளம் இருக்கு, மரச்செக்கெண்ணெய் ஆடுற மிஷின் இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி எல்லாம் எனக்கு அப்ரோச் பண்ணி, நீங்க ஒரு இதுல இவ்வளவு ப்ராஃபிட் எவ்வளோ எனக்கு வந்து பார்த்தா அது பச்சை கடலைக்காய ஒரு 1500 ரூபாய் நான் ஹோல்சேல் விற்பனையாளர் கொடுத்தா எனக்கு வந்து அதுல ப்ராஃபிட் வந்து ஒரு 20% தான் இருக்கு. 25 ரூபாய் போட்டா எனக்கு.
Prem is mentioning that he is a farmer, basically he and his father, and they used to get around 1,500 kgs of groundnuts every year during the harvest, and it is sold for an average of 25 rupees, 23-25 rupees on an average per kg. But I mean, when they came to know about the rural nutrition centers availability and the infrastructure, he came here once and he was interacting with the people like us, and then he was knowing about how this center can be utilized for value addition. So once he started taking his groundnuts here, seeds, and dried it in the solar poly house, and then value added it is as oil. And when he was selling the groundnuts as such, the 1,500 kilograms of groundnuts was yielding him some 70% margin, which is increased to 70% margin. Can you please explain that? 70. Prem? Yeah, from the same 1,500 kgs of Prem?
It's fine, ma'am. Okay.
Can you hear us?
நியூட்ரிஷன் சென்டர்ல வந்து இப்படி அப்ரோச் பண்ணதால அதை திங்க் பண்ணி பார்த்தேன். சரி, நம்ம அந்த 25 கிலோ பச்சை கடலைக்காய் கொடுக்கறதுக்கு நம்மளே வந்து காய போட்டு அதை வந்து ஊற்றி கொடுக்கறதுக்கு அந்த காய போட்டு நம்ம எண்ணெய் மிஷின் இருக்கு, எண்ணெய் இருக்கு, அதை வந்து நம்ம சேல் பண்ணலாம், பிசினஸா பண்ணலாம். அதாவது நம்ம பக்கத்துல இருக்கிற தோட்டக்காரங்களுக்கு ஒரு 6-7 சின்ன சின்ன மளிகை கிடைக்கும். அப்படி எங்க சொந்தக்காரங்க நிறைய பேர் இருக்காங்க, அவங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் இப்ப போன வருஷம் வந்து நான் அதை ட்ரை பண்ணா அந்த 1500 கிலோல நான் ஒரு 8 நாள் 10 நாள் டோட்டலா காய வைப்பேன். காய போட்டதுமே எனக்கு 100 கிலோ அதுல வந்து லெஸ் ஆகுது. பாக்கி 1400 கிலோ எனக்கு வந்து நான் காய போட்டதுக்கு அப்புறம் அதுல தோல் தனியா இந்த கடலை தனியா எடுக்கணும். அது அப்படி எடுத்தா எனக்கு ஒரு 60% தோல் போயிடுது. 40% மட்டும்தான் எனக்கு வந்து அந்த கடலை இருக்கும். கடலை பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு 840 கிலோ அப்படி வரும். அப்படி பார்த்தா அதை காய போட்டு உலர்த்தி கொடுத்துற காய போட்டு நான் மரச்செக்கு மிஷின்ல வந்து நான் அரைச்சப்ப எனக்கு 420 லிட்டர் எண்ணெய் வந்தது. அதாவது 840 கேஜிக்கு 420 லிட்டர் எனக்கு எண்ணெய் வந்தது. இப்போ கரண்ட்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா 270 ரூபா பர் லிட்டர் வந்து சேல் பண்றாங்க. நம்ம ஒரு 10 ரூபா கம்மி பண்ணி 260 கொடுக்கலாம் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி பிளான் பண்ணி எனக்கு 420 லிட்டர் நான் டோட்டலா சேல் பண்ணணும்னா எனக்கு 1,09,000 ரூபாய் எனக்கு டோட்டலா எனக்கு வருது. அதுல வந்து என்னோட எக்ஸ்பென்சஸ் வந்து ஒரு 30,000 ரூபாய் எனக்கு போயிருது. பேலன்ஸ் வந்து எனக்கு 75% எனக்கு வந்து அதுல லாபம் கிடைக்குது. எனக்கு அதை காட்டிலும் இது ரொம்ப பெட்டரா இருக்கு. அப்புறம் நான் கொடுக்குற பக்கமெல்லாம் ஆயில் இப்போ சாப்பிட்ற சமையலுக்கு வந்து ஆயில் யூஸ் பண்றதை விட நம்ம இந்த மரச்செக்கு சுத்தமான மரச்செக்கு எண்ணெய் நம்ம வந்து கொடுக்கறதுனால உடல் ஆரோக்கியம் நல்லா இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணி நான் வித்துட்டு இருக்கேன். எனக்கு இது ரொம்ப இந்த நியூட்ரிஷன் சென்டர்ல இது பக்கத்துல நம்ம கிராமத்துக்கு பக்கத்துல இருக்கிறது எனக்கு ரொம்ப ஒரு பெனிஃபிட்ஸா இருக்கு. நான் என்னோட ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், என்னோட பக்கத்துல இருக்கிற தோட்டத்தில் இருக்கிறவங்க எல்லாருமே வந்து இது மாதிரி நம்மளும் கொடுக்கலாம் அப்படின்ட்டு என்கிட்ட கலமுத்து கொடுக்குறாங்க. இது மாதிரி ஒரு பிசினஸ் பண்ணலாம்னு அவங்க ஐடியா கேட்டிருக்காங்க. நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Prem is explaining his cost benefit analysis. When he is selling his groundnuts as such, as a seed, it is yielding him only 20% margin. Whereas if he value add it into oil and then sell it as oil for the nearby small vendors and also for his own family members, then he is able to get around 70% of margin when value addition. So this is the gross benefit which he is mentioning, and he is also assuring that the oil which is extracting is good in quality and reliable from his own place. So he has learned this mechanism, and also he has interacted with other farmers for more groundnuts to procure, and also the other farmers are also now interested in value addition of groundnuts to groundnut oil. So there is at last one community member to ensure us that the community has changed to actually explain us how the community has changed. She is Mrs. Kritika. With her, finally, we will end up our presentation.
Okay.
Good afternoon, one and all. I'm Kritika from rural village of Itimalai. I'm here on behalf of my community to explain our benefits which we have achieved through integrated rural nutrition center. We have achieved benefits in two aspects. One is in the nutritional and health aspects, another one in the side of livelihood. Initially, we had many nutritional problems and we were unaware about the problems which we were facing. IRNC brought up the Android applications in the name of Nutrition Diagnosis App and Symptoms Checker app, which helped us in identifying our health and nutrition problems, and we were shocked to know the current situation of us. So after we understood that we have such problems, and when we approached the IRNC, they helped us in educating us through various awareness programs on dietary diversity of foods, consuming fruits, vegetables, and the importance of consuming green leafy vegetables in locally available seasonal foods, etc. They also explained us the importance of nutrition during special needs, like during pregnancy, lactating, elderly, what are the nutritions we need, all those things they explained to us. And when most of us in our community were vulnerable to various micro and macronutritional deficiencies. So with the help of the application, they identified our deficit conditions, and they took us to the diet counseling centers at the IRNC, and they provided us various referral services to overcome our problems. And another important thing which has brought many changes in our lifestyle is they introduced the concept of community kitchen garden to us. Many of our households had backyard space in our houses, but we were not using those spaces. So when they visited our community with the objective of promoting community kitchen gardens, and educated us on how to start the community kitchen garden and maintenance, they trained us with a training module and gardening tips for better promotion. So for Around approximately 62 households in our community are now with community kitchen garden. Earlier, we used to purchase all the fruits and vegetables from outside, but now we have started using the consumes which we are taking from our garden, and the excess products are sold at the community retail outlets at the integrated rural nutrition center. And another important aspect which we have gained through IRNC is in our livelihood changes. Basically, around 80% of the individuals in our community are dependent on farming or farm-based livelihoods. So, like as farmers, we always sell our produces as raw materials. So after the introduction of IRNC, they educated us on the concepts of value addition and how it can be the products can be used for marketing purposes. So we were brought into the IRNC and provided trainings with the concepts of value addition, food processing, packaging, labeling, marketing, etc. Especially the technologies available in the IRNC like solar dehydration, oil extraction, and primary processing techniques like pulverizer, sealing, mechanical dryer, and all are very useful to us to convert our raw materials into value-added products and sell it for a better marketplace. So, on the whole, to sum up, our community is benefited mostly on the aspects of nutrition, health, and livelihood aspects, and many of the notable number of households have improved their income level, and through which the purchasing power has increased. So we are visualizing for a better, healthy community in the future. So if this continues for a long time, I think we could attain a better nutrition health status and improve our livelihood.
Thank you, Kritika. Thank you so much. Only one question with Kritika, ma'am. Yes. So how you are planning to market your products, since you are into so many products and you have a generated livelihood? So what is your experience? Are you finding market for your products, or you are planning to like e-market or going in cities, going in towns?
So now we have established nutrition center. We have already displayed there. Like they are coming here for purchase, and we are extending market opportunities in the city limits also. Like we are finding department stores where we can list products for sales, and they are also planning for e-marketing linkages. Like we'll definitely we are looking for e-marketing linkages also.
Thank you.
So, to add with, we are also identifying opportunities in strengthening our e-markets, especially as a university, we are identifying the potential student purchase power in utilizing these household items, and also the faculty members, the staff are also introduced to such products. Recently, for this past 2-3 months, we have a good market. Maybe we have to improve our production and scale it up to the next level.
I'm sure, ma'am, you will be able to, because you are doing wonderful job, and with so many of products, it is going to be like very challenging to market. So your next I guess your next challenge is to e-market them. Thank you so much, ma'am, because very few people do so much of groundwork, and taking science to society is a big service to the nation, to the society, to the humankind. Thank you so much. And this is means I can see the decades of experience amalgamated into science when you are going to the ground. Thank you so much, doing wonderful work.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, the Science and Technology, and for this initiative also to express this science and technology to the other community, to motivate others. And thanks for giving opportunity to share this success story. Thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you. And I'll hand over to Manisha, Dr. Manisha, for the second technology session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prabhat. Welcome to the next session. In this session, we are going to discuss on the fluorosis mitigation through intervention, diet editing, and management in scheduled caste community of Bihar. For this, हमारे साथ जुड़ेंगे डॉक्टर शरीफ. He is a professor and head in Department of Anatomy in All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi. He is also founder professor in charge of the first clinical ectotoxicology facility in the country and chairman of the telemedicine facility of the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi. Welcome, sir. Sir, please tell us briefly about your work and this technology, sir.
Thank you, Manisha. Thank you, and good afternoon to everybody. And at the outset, I would like to thank the DST, the Seed Division, for funding this project. And I also would like to thank our collaborators, Professor Bihari Singh and Professor Rajesh Kumar from the Center for Fluorosis Research in the AN College of Patna. Sir, thank you very much. And without your support and the ground help, we would not have been able to achieve what we have achieved in this project. So with that, I would like to give a brief introduction to the work that we have been doing in various districts of Patna in conducting the research and also helping the scheduled caste communities in those fluorosis endemic areas of Patna. So the title of our project, as Dr. Manisha has already read out, is the fluorosis mitigation in scheduled caste community of Bihar through intervention and counseling. So initially we started off this project as a fluorosis survey and data collection. And in the initial phases, when we went to the field, we have seen that the scheduled caste communities were living in very poor socio-economic conditions, and the drinking water that they were consuming was heavily contaminated with fluoride, and there were a lot of skeletal and neurological deformities and all those things which have been resulting from hundreds or if not thousands of years of consumption of this contaminated water. And the villagers were very reluctant to cooperate with us, and they did not want to let us into our homes or share any data, because they have been complaining that a lot of teams have gone and they have collected data, taken photos, and have gone back and done nothing. So at that stage, we came back, and then we thought that the research that we are going to conduct in the community should not only benefit us by way of collecting data and getting publications, and we thought that we should also help during the process of our research. We have to help the communities in some way so that they also feel like partners in the project. So at that stage, we approached the Department of Science and Technology to fund the filters that we wanted to install in the field. And that was a challenge, to find filters which do not require any electricity and which can be used on the existing hand pumps. And luckily for us, we have got a particular manufacturer from Nagpur, and who could supply us such filters at very competitive prices. So we have installed those filters in about 12 villages of some districts of Bihar. So in fact, we already collected the pre-intervention data, and we have seen that so many, hematological, that is anemia, malnutrition, and neurological deficiencies, and skeletal and dental fluorosis were rampant in those communities, and the communities were actually believing that it was a curse of the god and that nothing can help them. So from that particular kind of belief and superstition that it was the curse, then we could convince those people that the water that they are consuming is the culprit, and if we can replace the water, contaminated water, with fluoride free water, then all these problems that they have been suffering from generations could be resolved. So as soon as we started this intervention and they started feeling the benefits, and they started feeling the improvement in their health, and lessening of the pain that they have been suffering, and because of the pain and these deformities, they were not even able to perform their occupations properly. So after some intervention, and most of them got convinced that it is the water, safe drinking water, that is required to alleviate all their problems, and they started volunteering themselves. And then along with that, we have also started giving advice on food, that is editing the nutrition diet, and also we started giving the antioxidants and multivitamins and the supportive treatment and all those things. Actually, the details of this particular project will be shared by Dr. Javed, who has been actively implementing this whole project. So if you can allow me, Dr. Rajesh Kumar and Dr. Bihari Singh have been of great help to us, and they have provided their teams. And sir, both of you, we are very grateful. Sitting in Delhi, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to implement this project so successfully. So now, if you can allow me, Dr. Manisha,
Yes, sir. Please.
allow me to
Yes, please.
share our screen. So
Yes, sir. Please share.
yeah. Share. Enter full screen. Where is the share? And share trade. Screen share. Window or entire screen? Window share. PowerPoint. So are you able to see our screen, Dr. Manisha?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I request Dr. Javed to give this presentation.
Of course, sir. Of course, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am, and all the respected members.
Good afternoon, sir.
Actually, this is introduction about the project and research engagement here in AIMS. So we have, as sir has explained, we can see that here how pathetic condition is there in the community, that is SC community, and all those people here. You can see that there are skeletal deformity even in child and in the adult, in old age person. You can see this person, he was not able to even get up from the cart, that is from the bed. And now with the intervention and our counseling treatment through the telemedicine, as well as the expert opinion from the our clinicians, now he is able to walk, and most likely within 2 to 3 months they will be able to walk also. So these are the few pictures here. You can see the deformity in this case is completely. So we can't revert them to the normal condition, but here we can see that in childhood condition we can revert them to the normal, and they will be able to walk. Even apart from the skeletal deformities, in initial stage, the woman and the person in 30s to 40s, they were not able to work properly, and they are working for 2 to 3 days in a week, and sometimes it is difficult to go for work because of the severe pain they have in the joint and the muscle. So after our intervention, they have started working. Now they are realizing that they are able to work, and especially the children, they are doing well. Their skeletal deformities are getting corrected gradually, but this is the disease which cannot be reverted completely to the normal condition. But yes, gradually we are trying, and we are able to correct the deformities for the certain significant percentage. And the female, they were not able to work because of the pain and the restricted movement of their joints. They were generally working in bhatta or crop field. So, and there they need to lift the stuff, and they work hard, and their health condition were not allowed to do so. But after our intervention, safe drinking water, medicines, and advice from our expert team of the AIMS New Delhi under the chairmanship of Professor A. Sharif, now they are able to go for their work, and they are not only improving their health condition, they are also improving their livelihood also, because they are now able to earn more and more. And all those journey, as sir has explained, that Professor Bihari Singh and his team, Professor Rajesh Kumar in his team, and the active community members of the committee, even the Panchayati Raj person, that ASHA workers and local
Doctors from the primary health centers,
they are helping a lot, and they all are on the board in the journey of this social work, socio-scientific work.
And one of our project staff, Jayant Kumar, is also permanently resident in those areas.
Yeah,
in the field.
Jayant Kumar, one of our research assistant, he is posted in the field by Professor A. Sharif sir, and continuously he is doing the job there.
So he is monitoring the patients, and he is also looking after the maintenance of all the filters that have been installed in the field. And the filters are very efficient, and they are working very well. Right, even 10 ppm of the fluoride is actually filtered out, and I think that the water is consistently giving 0.05 ppm.
Yeah. So for the installation, choosing the research area and that filter installation, first we survey the area and see here the fluorosis is like, here the groundwater is contaminated with fluoride, and fluorosis is up to 10 to 15 ppm in the groundwater. Even it should be better if it is 0.5. So, and here you can see, first we identify the severity in the area, and then we used to give them counseling, and then convince them to join our team, and then we used to install the drinking water. During the period, we have also tested the various sources of water, and where we cannot install filter, we give them an opportunity to drink and cook the food from a safe from the water like collected from the safe drinking water sources.
In the areas where we were not able to install filters, we identified the safer sources of water, and we have put a green tick on that. And then the where the sources of water are more heavily contaminated, we put a red cross, and we advise the people not to drink water from the sources that are marked with a red cross.
Yeah, so these are the certain severe cases what we have seen. So this is the progress what we have made in the first year objective wise. So these are the villages which we have covered, and the more. So these are the actually area where with the longitude and latitude, everything is with the beneficiary mobile, having the mobile number facility. So some community members, they are giving their number, and this is the level of fluoride. Here we can see that if we discuss about the Sherpur, here we can, this is the
complete geotagged data is available, geotagging of the water sources as well as the beneficiaries and the geolocation.
Water is 9.93, 4, 5, 7, 10, 3, 10, 6, 5. So these all are alarming and very dangerous for the people. So the same we are continuing, and then the achievement what we have made now, and during the COVID also, because the project, when we started this project, there were severe COVID disruption due to this unprecedented pandemic. And during the period, our project was helpful. Our people were helpful to provide counseling, guidance, and we have given with the help of Contact, one of the initiative of AIMS under the supervision of Professor A. Sharif sir, and it was also and with the involvement of Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Director AIMS. So we were able to provide them the advice for
healthcare advice regarding the pandemic as well as any other healthcare problems that they are facing. So we could provide them teleconsultations and remote help actually. And our project work also has gone on uninterrupted. Again, once again, thanks to Professor Bihari Singh and Dr. Rajesh Kumar. Their teams have worked relentlessly even during COVID period in the field, and they have ensured that our project work was going on and all our filters have been functioning well. So thank you, sir, once again, both of you.
So, and apart from that, we are providing the medications also, and those medications are advised by our expert team who are here co-investigators in the project, and also we invite other expert and super specialists based on the need in the field, and as per their recommendation, we provide medicines. So as sir has explained that initially they were very reluctant to take the medicines, and sometimes they used to give the medicine to their goat, bakri, and then gradually
we had to bribe them even to take medicines.
yeah, and we organize a small party kind of thing with good food and all, and then gradually they have realized that they will be now they are getting
now
better.
they demand.
Now they demand for all
they're
those
demanding
things.
medicines, and they're demanding antioxidants.
Yeah.
And the villages where the filters are not installed, they come and demand.
Yeah.
So, but unfortunately, we are only a research project, and we are not a waterworks department where we can go and install filters all over the place.
Yeah. So during the COVID interruption and maintaining all the COVID guidelines here, we can see that during the period we have been continuing the research work, and they are taking these medicines. And even we follow up the thorough phones that whether they are taking that safe water, what we are giving as a medicine, and they are taking the proper medication as advised by our expert team, and doses and how many times a day they have to take, and everything we make sure from AIMS with the help of teleconsultation and telemedicine. As
you can see Dr. Javed and Dr. Sabha, who is a scientist in this particular project. They go very frequently to the field, and they keep monitoring and collecting data and the samples directly. And we also, prepared a mobile lab where the samples can be analyzed then and there in the field itself. Again, it's all part of the project, and again, thanks to the DST for making this possible.
Thank you so much, sir, for the presentation and doing such a wonderful work. Sir, now for more information, we would like to connect with Dr. Bihari Singh from Center for Fluorosis Research Center in College Bihar. Sir.
Yeah. So I'm exiting from the presentation mode, and then stop sharing. After stop sharing, now the previous.
डॉक्टर बिहारी सर आप हमें सुन पा रहे हैं? आई थिंक बिहारी सर हमारे साथ कनेक्टेड तो थे.
Yeah, he's there. Just let me call him. And meanwhile, that
we can talk to the field.
Meanwhile,
Mr. Jayant Kumar is there, our research assistant. He's in the field right now.
Okay, sir. हमारे साथ कोई और बेनिफिशरीज भी होंगे जयंत कुमार जी के साथ?
उनके साथ है बेनिफिशरीज.
ओके, जयंत कुमार जी आप हमें सुन पा रहे हैं? आप अपना कैमरा ऑन कर लीजिए. गुड आफ्टरनून सर. गुड आफ्टरनून सर. कैमरा ऑन कर लीजिए सर आप.
यस जयंत, आप सुन पा रहे हैं?
जी सर, सुन पा रहे हैं सर.
हाँ. जयंत, आप जो बेनिफिशियरी हैं हमारे, एक बार उनसे प्लीज बात कराएं, और आप पहले एक्सप्लेन करें कि क्या फायदा उनको फील हो रहा है, फिर उनसे आप बात कराएं. तो हाउ यू आर वर्किंग, और फील्ड में कैसा रिस्पांस है आपका?
आपको जो अगर प्रॉब्लम्स और चैलेंजेस कुछ आप फेस कर रहे हैं तो वो भी बताइए.
जी सर, जी सर। यहाँ पे पूरे लोग यहाँ डिफ्लोरेटेड का बहुत अच्छा यूज कर रहे हैं। सारे लोग पानी अच्छे से पीते हैं।
फिल्टर भी दिखाइए और कैसे यूज करते हैं बता दीजिए, वो साइड में है वहाँ पे शायद।
जी सर, अभी फिल्टर के पास में
वहाँ पे नेटवर्क नहीं आ पाता एक्चुअली, सो
नेटवर्क बहुत बड़ा इशू है सर का, कि पहाड़ी इलाका है, माउंटेन क्या है।
हाँ हाँ ठीक है, आप नेटवर्क एरिया में ही रहें और एक बार बात करा दें उनसे।
जी सर, जी सर। सर फिल्टर के पास में जा रहा हूँ, फिल्टर दिखा रहे हैं वर्क करता है।
कोई एक फिल्टर दिखा दीजिए, है ना।
जी 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 सर, जी सर।
नेटवर्क का इशू है,
नेटवर्क एरिया के कारण बहुत नेटवर्क एरिया करना पड़ता है।
हाँ हाँ हाँ
हाँ। जी सर।
ओके, ये खटिया रखा है उन्होंने सामने। ओके
जी सर, सर
This is
हमारा
deep
यहाँ
डिफ्लोरेशन यूनिट है। कैसे सेफ वाटर आता है, कैसे अनसेफ वाटर नहाने का और खाने पीने का कैसे आता है, एक बार जरा एक्सप्लेन कर।
ये हमारा रॉ वाटर है सर, जो डायरेक्टली नहाने धोने के लिए यहाँ यूज लोग करते हैं। उसके बाद हम इसको लोग ऐसे लॉक कर देंगे तो फिर हमारे फिल्टर में जाता है जो ये वाले पानी। उसके बाद फिल्टर में जाने के बाद हमारा फाइनली आउटलेट यहाँ से हमारे पीने के लिए काम लोग यहाँ पीने खाने के लिए यहाँ से यूज करते हैं।
पीने और खाने के लिए कौन सा ओके। अब कम्युनिटी पीपल से बात कराइए, तो बेनिफिशियरी हैं जो एक्टिव मेंबर हैं। नमस्कार जी। नमस्कार
सर आप अपना नाम बताइए प्लीज।
जी मेरा नाम सुरजीत कुमार यादव।
थोड़ा कैमरा ऊपर कर दीजिए जयंत, कि उनका फेस दिखे। हाँ गुड, वेरी गुड।
सर आप प्लीज हमें बताइए, इससे पहले आपको किन दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ता था और अब आपको इससे क्या लाभ हुआ है या हो रहा है?
टेबल रखो।
फायदा हो गया मैडम। इससे पहले हम लोग के कमर दर्द, घुटना में दर्द ये सब रहता था। जब से हम लोग फिल्टर पानी पीने लगे हैं, यूज कर रहे हैं, तब से घुटने के दर्द, पैरों का दर्द, जोड़ों का दर्द दूर हो चुका है।
ओके सर, तो ये कितने वाटर फिल्टर लगे हैं आपके एरिया में?
मेरे एरिया में 35 लगा हुआ है मैडम।
ओके, हर घर में एक लगा होता है ऐसा?
नहीं मैम, एक्चुअली इट इज कम्युनिटी बेस्ड एंड इन वन मोहल्ला एक्चुअली, सो दोस आर 20 हाउसहोल्ड।
तो आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे इसके बारे में, कि सरकार से किस तरह की और हेल्प आपको इसके रिगार्डिंग मिलनी चाहिए?
ये आपसे पूछ रहे हैं कि आपको और कोई मदद चाहिए, आपको कोई और मदद सरकार से किस तरह का चाहिए, और इससे जो लाभ हुआ है उसको आगे बढ़ाने के लिए और क्या आपको करना चाहिए और हमें क्या करना चाहिए सरकार को, आप बताएं, कुछ सजेस्ट करें।
जयंत फेस दिख नहीं रहा है ठीक से, थोड़ा कैमरा ऊपर की तरफ करो। हाँ यस ठीक है।
रोटी दीजिए, हम लोग का कुछ बेरोजगारी है सर, रोजगार दीजिए सर।
ओके, रोजगार एक चीज है, और ये बताइए कि ये जब आपका अब तबीयत ठीक रहने लगा है तो अब ज्यादा काम कर सकते हैं आप पहले से?
जी सर, ज्यादा काम करते हैं।
अच्छा, तो रोजगार के लिए आप सजेस्ट करिए कि आपके लिए क्या कर सकते हैं, फिर हम लोग वैसे ही प्रोजेक्ट एक बनाएंगे जिसमें आपको रोजगार की भी सुविधा या आपको व्यापार की सुविधा हम बढ़ाने की। अभी आप काम करने के लायक हुए हैं, पहले आप काम कम कर सकते थे, तो अब आप चुन के बताइए कि आप यहाँ किस तरह का काम कर सकते हैं जिसमें मशीन लगा के, साइंस लगा के आपका और रोजगार बढ़ सके, आपकी आमदनी बढ़ सके। आप हमें लिखित में भी दीजिए और ऐसे भी बताइए, फिर हम डीएसटी से रिक्वेस्ट करके आगे बढ़ाएंगे। मैडम ओवर टू यू।
जी सर, बिल्कुल सर, हम जानना चाहेंगे सर इसके बारे में। तो जयंत जी, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूंगी
जी मैम,
कि आप इनको जो कम्युनिटी ग्रुप्स है उनको अवेयर करने के लिए आप कोई ट्रेनिंग कराते हैं या अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम कराते हैं, कुछ इस तरह से?
जी मैम, यहाँ का लोकल एरिया है, पहाड़ी इलाका मिलनी है मैम। यहाँ के पहाड़ पे लोग अपना लकड़ी काट उठ के जो भी है उसको मार्केट हैं, या वहाँ का जो जंगली लकड़ी होता है, जैसे बम्बू हुआ, उसको वो लोग दो
नहीं, जयंत
फैसिलिटी
जयंत एक मिनट, मैडम पूछ रही हैं कि आप हम ये इस प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में जानकारी इन लोगों को कैसे देते हैं और इनको कैसे कन्विंस करते हैं कि सेफ ड्रिंकिंग वाटर फिल्टर का पीने से ये बीमारी कम हो सकता है करके, इन इन चीजों की ट्रेनिंग वगैरह आप करते हैं वहां पे, वो बताइए। आप विलेज में कैसे समझाते हैं फ्लोरोसिस के बारे में?
हाँ हाँ, जी सर, जी सर। जैसे सर हम लोग आते हैं सब फील्ड में, तो इन लोग को कन्विंस करते हैं कि सेफ ड्रिंकिंग वाटर पीजिए, जो हमारा फ्लोराइड सेफ वाटर जो है डेफिब्रिलेटर का, उसको रेगुलर ये लोग यूज करें। इससे आपका जो ठेवना में दर्द है या कमर में दर्द है या झिनझिनी होता है या दांत में प्रॉब्लम होता है, उससे उनको बेनिफिट मिले। ये लोग मानते भी है बात को, पीते भी हैं, लोग को भी कन्विंस करते हैं। जो लोकल मोबिलाइजर लोग हैं वो लोग भी लोग को भी समझाते हैं।
हाँ, अभी इनको समझ आ गया कि ये प्रॉब्लम कि ये शाप से या इससे नहीं है, कि भगवान के तरफ से इनके लिए पनिशमेंट नहीं है, लेकिन ये सिर्फ पानी के कंटामिनेशन के कारण है करके समझ आ गया होगा बहुत सारे लोगों को।
भगवान की तरफ से ही ये चीज हुआ है, तो हमको पानी पीने से ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, ऊपर से ही क्या है। लेकिन अब ये लोग समझ गए हैं कि नहीं, ये पानी के कारण ही ये चीज था।
और दवाइयाँ भी अब ले रहे हैं ये लोग रेगुलर, आप जैसे दे रहे हैं?
हाँ सर, रेगुलर।
जी सर, जी दवाइयाँ तो रेगुलर हम लोग ले रहे हैं सर।
हाँ, ठीक है।
ओके ओके। ये कोई
तो जी
महिला किसी से बात कर रही है और कोई बात करना चाहते हो तो?
सर ये लोग लोकल लोग हैं, समझेंगे बात को नहीं।
अच्छा,
बोलते हैं लोग की तरफ से, हम लोग बोलते हैं सर जो भी है।
हाँ।
तो क्या प्रॉब्लम आप लोग बताइए, क्या आप लोग और मदद चाहिए सिर्फ पानी पीने की? अब बोलिए पानी।
जयंत जी,
जी मैम।
इनसे पूछिए कि ये फिल्टर आने से, पानी ठीक होने से इनकी जिंदगी में क्या बदलाव आया है, ये कैसा महसूस करते हैं?
जब से फिल्टर लगा है, आप पानी पी रही हैं, तो आपके
शरीर बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
अब अच्छा हो गया। हाँ,
वो अच्छा है।
रोजगार हम कीजिएगा, आदमी है हम लोग, लकड़ी काट काट के खाता है हम लोग।
जी मैम।
हेल्थ केयर पैरामीटर्स में भी जो फर्क आया, जयंत तुमको आइडिया है कि इनका हीमोग्लोबिन वगैरह क्या इम्प्रूव हुआ था?
मैं एक्सप्लेन
बता दीजिए।
मैम, एक्चुअली initially they were having very low level of like hemoglobin also, and they were having multiple problems actually. Those and then GI problem, digestion problem, they were not able to digest, although they are poor and they don't have a good intake of food, and whatever they were taking, it was not getting absorbed actually. So due to that, and what we are doing, we are continuously analyzing their urine, because multiple taking blood is a tough, and convincing them is also one of the challenges. So we are taking their urine, their water, and their health parameter. We have a set format through which we can see, we can analyze their health status, and then now we are very much satisfied that they are doing very well actually. It is beyond expectation. In very short period of time, now they are feeling them healthy, workable, and now the few people from the few household, they have reported that earlier there were underweight, the birth of underweight child. Okay, now that problem is gradually getting solved, and the growth of the children is also up to the mark. One of the challenges was the stunted growth, that the children for their age, they were shorter, they were lean, and now these problems are getting corrected gradually.
Okay, Mr. Jayant, please tell us, are there any major gaps at implementation level according to you, or any roadblock to reach it at community level?
यस मैम, एक एरिया है मैम, राधे बीघा करके, वहाँ मतलब सालों भर वहाँ पानी भरा हुआ रहता है। वहाँ जाने में बहुत सा दिक्कत भी होता है मेडिकेशन प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए। हम लोग जो अभी का मंथ है, इस 3-4 महीने में ही हम लोग वहाँ काम कर पाते हैं, उसके बाद हम लोग नहीं कर पाते हैं।
अच्छा, एक्सेस रोड्स वगैरह ठीक नहीं है वहाँ जाने
पानी
के
हिल
लिए।
के जाना पड़ता है।
इसके अलावा कोई और इश्यूज है, प्रॉब्लम्स है कि रेसिस्टेंस कम्युनिटी में एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं है, वो नहीं ये करना चाहते हैं, नहीं कोऑपरेट करना चाहते हैं, ऐसा कुछ है?
नहीं सर, पहले तो लोग नहीं मानते थे, लेकिन हम लोग जो 2-3 बार उन लोग के साथ मीटिंग की है, लोकल मोबिलाइजर के साथ मिल, तो वो लोग कन्विंस हो गए।
और
ठीक है,
कैसे टाइप के मुश्किल, और कैसे टाइप के मुश्किल आ रहे हैं आपको ये प्रोजेक्ट इम्प्लीमेंट करने में?
सर यहाँ तो सब कुछ ठीक है सर, हम लोग रेगुलर हर वीक में हम लोग आके यहाँ पे लोगों को समझाते हैं, तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं हो रहा है सर। पहले दिक्कत होता था बहुत ज्यादा, लेकिन अब सब
फिल्टर्स अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे?
हाँ सर उसको हर अच्छा काम कर रहा है सर, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है।
वाटर सैंपल कितना फ्रीक्वेंटली एनालाइज कर रहे हैं आप?
सर अभी 0. हाँ तो सब डिजायरेबल लिमिट के अंदर है।
अच्छा, उसका मेंटेनेंस क्या हो रहा है?
मेंटेनेंस के लिए सर हम लोग रेगुलर यहाँ के लोकल एक कोलंबो ऐसी है मिस्त्री हैं, उनको हम लोग डेली वेज पे रखते हैं। उनसे हमेशा उनको जो भी हैंड पंप खराब होता है या वाशर गिर जाता है, उसको हम लोग उनसे ठीक करवा लेते
हैं। मनीषा जी आप कुछ पूछ रही थी?
जी सर।
हाँ जी मैम।
तो जी आपको क्या लगता है कि इसकी वजह से किस हद तक प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हुई है ग्राउंड लेवल पे?
मैम बहुत यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छा लोग हो गया है, क्योंकि अब लोग सब कुछ समझ गया कि फ्लोराइड कुछ होता है, इस बीमारी कुछ है। पहले तो ये लोग समझता था कि भगवानी देन है या कुछ है, ऊपर से ही होके आया है, ऐसा ही लोग समझता था। लेकिन अब मीटिंग लोग के साथ किए, ये लोग समझ गया पानी पीने ही सही।
तो जैन जी, मुझे जितना मतलब एज पर माई नॉलेज, जो बिहार के गांव हैं वहां तक गवर्नमेंट सप्लाई का पानी पहुंचा रही है, क्या वहां पे ऐसा कुछ है? क्योंकि वो
नहीं मैम, यहाँ गवर्नमेंट का स्कीम नहीं है।
ओके, गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से सप्लाई वाटर अभी स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ है वहां पे?
यहाँ नहीं है मैम कोई।
ये हैंड पंप्स भी वो पब्लिक हैंड पंप्स है ना ये सारे?
हाँ पब्लिक हैंड।
मैम हर घर जल, हर घर नल, you are talking about that. There are certain challenges which I can't speak on this platform, but it has reached up to there, and if there are something, what happens, there is no continuous monitoring of those waters, and somewhere we have seen that the water which is coming through those nulls, that is containing more than the fluoride which is there at the native place. So these are the problems. Even filters are not getting charged continuously as per the requirement, and even the water is not tested. Only they have overhead tank, and that water through the Panchayati Raj it is getting circulated in the household. So even it is the forced distribution of fluoride in the household actually.
मैम यहाँ बोलना चाहेंगे मैम, यहाँ कुछ हमारे एरिया है पंचायती राज विभाग द्वारा बिहार सरकार द्वारा जो काम किया जा रहा है हर घर नल का जल, उसमें पानी जो दिया जा रहा है 4 ppm अबव, उसमें फ्लोराइड लेवल है।
ये तो बहुत ज्यादा है सर।
धन्यवाद
जी, थैंक यू जैन जी, आपने हमें इन और समस्याओं से भी अवगत कराया है। So now for more information, we would like to connect with Dr. Bihari Singh ji from Center for Fluorosis Research Center. Sir, am I audible, sir?
विशाल सर से एक बार बात कराइए।
Sir, actually, I'm sorry, sir, but sir was in a meeting.
Okay, sir.
Dr. Rajesh?
Dr. Rajesh
sir,
sir?
Rajesh sir also in a meeting, sir.
अच्छा, वो यूनिसेफ की जो मीटिंग चल रही है, यूनिसेफ is also collaborating and helping us, and they have data. They are only providing data that somewhere there are some issues. So the team is also there. So आप बताइए विशाल जी, अगर पॉसिबल हो तो सर से भी एक बार बात कराइए।
गुड इवनिंग मैम एंड ऑल ऑफ यू। एक्चुअली हम लोग पिछले 4 सालों से इस एरिया में काम कर रहे हैं फ्लोराइड के ऊपर, जिसको फंडिंग के तौर पे यूनिसेफ हमारी करती आ रही है, बिहार से और सेंटर इंचार्ज। लेकिन जब हम लोगों के साथ भी कुछ लिमिट्स थे कि हम लोग मेडिकली उनको ट्रीट नहीं कर सकते थे, क्योंकि हम लोग बाय प्रोफेशन डॉक्टर्स नहीं थे। बट टाइम टू टाइम जावेद सर और शरीफ सर के टीम के साथ जब हम लोग अटैच हुए तो उनको हम लोग मेडिकली और ट्रीटमेंट देने के मोड में आ गए, क्योंकि उनको जनरल मेडिसिन हम लोग नहीं दे पाते थे। हम लोगों को ये स्पेशली इंस्ट्रक्शन होता था कि आप सस्टेनेबली ही उनको ट्रीट कर सकते हैं। अदरवाइज जैसे क्या था कि यहाँ दो तरीके से फ्लोराइड पानी सप्लाई किया जाता है, एक पीएचडी डिपार्टमेंट करती है, दूसरी पंचायती राज डिपार्टमेंट करती है। लेकिन जिस एरिया में अभी इस प्रोजेक्ट का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन हुआ है वो कम्प्लीटली पंचायती राज विभाग करती है, जहाँ पे फ्लोराइड कंटामिनेशन तकरीबन 4 to 5 ppm के अप्रॉक्स है। वो टाइम टू टाइम वेरी करता है। और दूसरी बड़ी बात क्या है कि वहाँ पे जितने भी लोग हैं सारे के सारे फ्लोराइड कंटामिनेटेड, डेंटल तो सारे हैं बट नॉन एस्केलेटल और एस्केलेटल लोग भी मैक्सिमम वहाँ मिल जाएंगे। चाहे उसके साथ क्या हुआ कि जब हम लोग वहाँ उस एरिया में जाने लगे तो हमारे साथ भी कुछ चैलेंजेस थे कि हम लोग उस एरिया को अपने साथ इंक्लूड नहीं कर सकते थे। बट जावेद सर के साथ मिलके हम लोग जब आगे बढ़े, वहाँ पे हम लोग ऑक्सीमैक्स डिफ्यूरेटर यूनिट्स लगाए तो उनको हम लोग फ्लाइट से वाटर दे पाए हैं। वहाँ ओवरहेड टैंक्स जो भी है वो पंचायती राज विभाग का है, जिसको WIMC वार्ड इम्प्लीमेंटेशन एंड मैनेजमेंट कमेटी, एक छोटी सी वार्ड स्तर पर एक संस्था होती है, वो लोग एक मीटिंग अपना कमेटी बना के काम करते हैं। लेकिन उसमें भी क्या है कि वो महीने के साल के पूरे 6 महीने डिफंक्ट होता है, नहीं तो उसमें से फ्लोराइड कंटामिनेटेड वाटर ही आता है। तो फिलहाल वहाँ पे तकरीबन हम लोग 29 डिफ्यूरेटर लगा चुके हैं, डिफरेंट डिफरेंट, जहाँ भी हम लोग को जरूरत महसूस हुआ। और टाइम टू टाइम, चूंकि हम लोग मेडिकल प्रोफेशन में है नहीं, तो जावेद सर और शरीफ सर, जन जी और हम लोग काफी मदद मिल जाती है, तो वहाँ से हम लोग को मेडिसिन भी प्रोवाइड हो जाता है। और चूंकि मैम हम लोग यूरिन टेस्ट और वाटर ब्लड सैंपल टेस्ट वगैरह नहीं कर पाते हैं, तो यहाँ से हम लोग सैंपल कलेक्ट करके सर के लेबोरेटरी तक भेजते हैं। तो इन लोगों में काफी इम्प्रूवमेंट हुआ है। पहले इन लोगों को लगता था कि हम नहीं कर पाएंगे, ये हमारे लाइफ स्टाइल है, इसी में जीने के वो लोग आदी हो गए थे। सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज क्या है मैम कि पिछले 1 सालों में जो लोग खेतों तक नहीं जा पाते थे उनको हम लोग खेतों तक भेज पाए हैं। तो ये सबसे बड़ी, मेरे लिए लगता है कि सबसे बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है। कुछ लोगों को ऐसा लगता था कि जैसे हम लोग कभी इंटरेक्ट करने जाते थे तो नहीं हम लोग इंटरेक्शन नहीं करना चाहते, ये नहीं। लेकिन अब जाने के बाद लोग काफी हैप्पीली हम लोग साथ इंटरेक्ट भी करते हैं, बातचीत भी करते हैं, जुड़ने का भी कोशिश करते हैं, और साथ में कुछ और भी एरियाज को बताते हैं कि यहाँ पे और भी प्रॉब्लम है, आप लोग वहाँ भी जाइए। धीरे धीरे करके हम लोग एक्सपेंड किए। पहले हम लोग चपरी गए थे, उसके बाद शेरपुर बंगला गए, फिर बसेरिया गए, और उसके साथ जैसे वहाँ पे कुछ लेडीज होती हैं जिनका मायके वगैरह होता है, वो भी इन्फॉर्मेशन देती है सर वहाँ भी आप लोग को जाना चाहिए। तो ये सब मैम काफी इससे फायदा भी हो रहा है और काफी हम लोग को मदद भी मिल रही है। और इसमें और एक जरूरत है मेरे तरफ से कि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मेडिसिन जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का काम है उसको और थोड़ा सा फास्ट किया जाए, ताकि और भी पेशेंट को हम लोग उसमें इंक्लूड कर सके। और कुछ कुछ जो एरिया है जिसमें अगल बगल का जो और भी जो एडजस्टिंग एरिया है, जहाँ और भी डिफ्लूरेटर्स चाहिए होगा, जहाँ पे या तो पीएचडी के थ्रू कराया जाए या वहाँ ऑक्सीमैक्स डिफ्लूरेटर दिया जाए, हैंड अटैचमेंट यूनिट। तीसरी मैम सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज क्या है कि वहाँ पे जो गवर्नमेंट सप्लाई जो हैंडपम्प्स थे वो तो थे ही, हमारे लिए सबसे बड़ी चैलेंज ये आ गई कि वहाँ के लोगों को भी हम लोगों ने कन्विंस किया, वो लोग भी कुछ अपने हैंडपम्प्स को हैंड ओवर किए कि सर आप लोग मतलब दीजिए। कुछ कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेशन हुआ, कुछ सर के तरफ से इंडिविजुअल पार्टिसिपेशन हुआ, कुछ उसके तहत भी हम लोगों ने कुछ चापाकल का वो हैंडपम्प हम लोग चेंज किए और फिर लगाए, उसमें हैंड अटैचमेंट यूनिट्स लगाए, फिर उनको दे पाए हैं। तो ये काफी चैलेंजेस रहे हैं, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट के हैंडपम्प बहुत ज्यादा नहीं होते हैं किसी गांव में। एक गांव में हम लोगों ने 15 डिफ्लूरेटर्स लगा रखे हैं। एक फैमिली, एक कम से कम 20 फैमिली 25 फैमिली एक डिफ्लूरेटर से 25 से 30 फैमिली तक जाती है। तो ये काफी चैलेंजेस रहा है हमारे हम लोग के लिए। और सरकार का इनिशिएशन काफी अच्छा रहा है। टाइम टू टाइम हमेशा उनका दौरा रहता है, टाइम टू टाइम फोन करके पूछते रहते हैं क्या इम्प्रूवमेंट है, कैसे है। तो सर थैंक यू इस एरिया में मदद करने के लिए, और इन लोगों की तरफ से भी काफी थैंक यू है।
नहीं, आप सब लोगों को भी हम भी बहुत बहुत थैंक्स बोल रहे हैं, क्योंकि आपका सपोर्ट बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट था हमारा प्रोजेक्ट के सक्सेसफुल इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए। वी आर वेरी ग्रेटफुल टू यू डॉक्टर बिहारी सिंह जी एंड डॉक्टर राजेश
जी सर। सर लोग इसके लिए काफी माफी चाहते हैं कि सर लोग अभी नहीं इंक्लूड हो पाए। काफी देर से वो लोग वेट कर रहे थे, बट टाइम उधर भी ओके हो रहा था, तो सर ने उधर जाना जरूरी था थोड़ा।
उनको बता
जी सर, जी सर, थैंक यू सो मच सर। आपने काफी हमें बताया कि कैसे चैलेंजेस का आपने सामना किया और क्या इम्प्रूवमेंट होने चाहिए। तो सर, इसके अलावा भी आप कोई सजेशन देना चाहते हैं कि इस टेक्नोलॉजी को और कैसे अच्छी तरह से इम्प्लांट किया जा सकता है, इम्प्लीमेंटेशन हो सकती है, डिसेमिनेशन हो सकती है टेक्नोलॉजी की, तो आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे सर इस पे?
ये टेक्नोलॉजी देखिए, यहाँ पे बिजली का एक प्रॉब्लम होता है। सो वी शुड ऑलवेज एनकरेज एनी टेक्नोलॉजी विच डजंट रिक्वायर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एंड मेंटेनेंस भी बहुत ही कम हो। लकीली हम ये फ्लोराइड के लिए हमको ये मिला है ऐसा फिल्टर, और शायद बाकी आर्सेनिक वगैरह के लिए भी चैलेंजेस है कुछ डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स ऑफ बिहार, वेस्टर्न बिहार और वेस्ट बंगाल वगैरह में, उनके लिए भी हमको करना चाहिए। एंड वी विल ट्राई टू फॉर्मुलेट सम प्रोजेक्ट्स एंड कम बैक टू यू। सो हमारा मेन सेटिस्फैक्शन इस पर्टिकुलर प्रोजेक्ट में हमारा सीख ये था कि फ्रॉम a level of superstition we could we could explain to people scientific reason behind their suffering, and now they have come to understand that, and they have come to accept the solution, and they are benefiting from it. I think this was a very big transformation for us, and it was not easy. I think you can imagine that in the initial stages how much difficulty we had in reaching out to people who were not cooperating with us, and now they are demanding. So I think this is a very big learning for us. I think these are the social dynamics which actually limit the penetration of science into the societies.
Society, yes sir, yes sir. Sir, it's a very wonderful work which you are doing. And this is your future prospectus about this technology.
Actually, as sir has explained, that there is no need of big machinery. Actually, there is no need of some larger technical machine and all. This is simply, it has to be attached to the another thing what that Jayant has explained, that the society is also now getting into it, and if some unit and is not working, if there are some challenges, they started crowdfunding, that if in a hand pump, if they have to spend 500 rupees, now they are collecting 10 rupees, and they are so the project is getting sustainable now. Another thing is because they don't have access to good doctors actually, and they need regular consultation by the doctors. So with the help of the very new and very good ideas of this telemedicine facility, so with the help of telemedicine, with the help of internet and handheld mobile, you can give advice to anybody sitting 1,000 kilometers away from the AIMS, because AIMS can't go up to there. But I suppose Bihari sir is now on
online.
Online.
Welcome, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Sir may explain few things. You can ask question to sir.
Welcome, Dr. Bihari Singh, sir. I would like to ask one question. Sir, how did you conclude this technology has been able to address the community issues and problems, and your future prospectus for this technology?
Hello, madam.
Hello, sir. Am I audible, sir?
So, we have been doing work on fluorosis study and the mitigation measures in Nawada district of Bihar. And in course of our study, we came in contact with Dr. Sharif and we came to know that they are doing a lot and trying to do a lot for providing safe water to the fluorosis patients in scheduled caste areas. So we have done some work in association with them, and more so, we have found the sincerity of their work, and that's why about 35 different units have been attached with the existing hand pumps, and they are all working well, and people are very happy. They are using that water, and they report that they have they feel much relieved. And if it is continued for some time, the area will be saved from
at least the children will be saved from being affected by fluorosis disease.
Manisha, actually, I have one of my thoughts is that because we may not be able to provide as many filter as they are required, we are hoping that there will be a local production of these filters and local maintenance, and these things will be encouraged. I think the local self-employment and
that
Yes,
can
sir.
be done, sir.
Yes,
The
sir.
other point is that in Bihar, in fluorosis areas, Har Ghar Nal Ka Jal scheme is working, has started working properly. So we can work on that line also.
Yes.
To see whether the fluoride safe water is being supplied to those areas or not. So so the two schemes should go together.
Yes,
one providing the fluoridation unit, and the other to see that whether they are getting fluoride safe water from Har Ghar Nal Ka Jal Yojana or not. So it's a good idea. It's a good idea, and we can. I can talk to the Dr. Dr. Javed. If they plan so, we can do this work in cooperation with each other.
Yes, sir. We will try to continue the project on those lines. Okay. So whatever be the source of water, whether it is fluoride safe or not, and if it is not, what remedial measures we can provide. So let us try to do some brainstorming on that sometime, sir, and we will go back to the DST if if we require any further funds.
It's okay, sir. It's okay. I will feel privileged if I get an opportunity to work with this team, AIMS team, and because it will go to the service of humanity, and that's why I and my team is ready to cooperate with this team. Okay, sir.
Sir, I also want to put on record in your presence that we are very grateful to you and Dr. Rajesh for all your support and help, sir. Without that, we may not have been able to successfully implement.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir. It's so much important, sir. But we shall do our level best to so that the benefit reaches the needy persons. The benefit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for doing such a wonderful work. Sir, as Dr. Bihari Singh sir हमारे साथ राउंड टेबल डिस्कशन में हैं. सर, अगर आप बिजी हैं तो अगर आपके बिहाफ में कोई हमारे साथ कनेक्ट हो सके राउंड टेबल डिस्कशन के लिए.
हाँ, असल में है क्या कि हम यूनिसेफ का प्रोजेक्ट होता है, उसकी टीम पूरी आई हुई है, तो हमारा एक हम अपने जूनियर कली को देते हैं वो.
जी सर. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Dr. Sharif sir, Dr. Bihari sir, जयंत कुमार जी, हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए. आगे के प्रोग्राम के लिए प्लीज हमारे साथ बने रहिएगा. प्रोग्राम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए मैं इनवाइट करूंगी डॉक्टर सावी सिंधे फॉर द नेक्स्ट सेशन. ओवर टू यू मैम.
विशाल जी,
सर MOI सकती हैं.
Thank you, Manisha ma'am. Good afternoon to all. Water, that too potable water, is one of the essential basic need of life and right of every individual. But in this 21st century, there are few hinterlands in our country which are deprived from the very basic essentials of life and far from SNT updates and technological utilizations. I am glad to inform you that for the third session of today's program, we have with us an organization which has not only paid attention toward the problem of the Adivasi community, but also provided suitable solution for it. Today, we'll have a discussion on the technology entitled Promoting a Pilot of a Biosand Filter for Assessing to the Clean Drinking Water for Future Dissemination, which was developed by Laya Group. And for that, we have with us Manisha Banerjee ma'am from Laya Group and Dr. Modam Sailila ma'am, a retired professor from St. Joseph College for Women, Visakhapatnam. Ma'am have successfully completed several projects related to health and nutrition issues of Adivasi community. With the support of DST SID region, a project was sanctioned under Women Technology Park, which was established in the Pedura village, located extremely interior in Vishakhapatnam, and Laya Group have developed a biosand filter for the improvement of health of Adivasi community. Welcome to all. Ma'am, please introduce us about the technology. Manisha, ma'am.
Actually, Sai Leela ma'am will lead the presentation. So
Okay.
I'm here to translate. I'm here to translate the regional language to English. Okay.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Good afternoon. This is Sai Leela. Good afternoon. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I shall be presenting briefly about the activities that we have been doing at Laya, with in relation to the the livelihood technologies, the project of the Women Technology Park. In this, we have been doing in two aspects. One is related to the livelihood concerns. So where technologies have been used to help the Adivasi women to take up technologies for promoting their own livelihood with the resources available, which they were not earlier using for their economic activity. And so the technology has been developed to improve their livelihood by making it a more economic activity. So in this, we have one is on adda leaves. So adda leaves is the leaf from one tree there, and which is extensively used in as paper plates. So earlier they were just collecting these leaves and then they would stitch them into leaves and use it at a home level or a small at community level. But now this is a very big market in everywhere in the neighborhood and same state and also elsewhere in the country, where these are used now extensively for all functions. So there is a big market for these adda leaves. So there are also machines through which these leaves could be pressed, and then instead of the earlier traditional way of stitching, where it was a very laborious process and the production would be very, very less. So women are trained in these adda leaves. So they would stitch and then make it into, it would be compressed in the machine and made into a hard paper-like thing, which will replace the traditional glass plates and the porcelain plates. So it is a disposable one and are also biodegradable. So that way these adda leaves are very, very useful. And they are available everywhere in the region. And so the resource is very, very almost free of cost. So they only have to collect it from the farm, from the forest, and then make it into a produce. Then another one is on tamarind cake making. Tamarind is also extensively available, and it is very it's also used everywhere in Andhra Pradesh and all other southern states very extensively. And tamarind they come in the season, and then unless they are collected and then they have seeds and all that, the other fibrous material. So unless they're cleaned and stored and kept, it has to be stored for a year long. So that is also another problem. So women, they do all these preliminary work of preparation, removing the seeds and the fibers and sticks and other things. And then they make it into a small cakes, like half kg and 1 kg like that. And which is wrapped in packets, and then it's sold in the market. So that's one very important market for it, because it's also extensively used, and it makes life easy for those who use it. So that way it is it has good market. So this is one of the from the produce, this is one thing. And the second livelihood thing is training young adult educated girls in video skills. So the girls who have studied up to school level or even +2 or even early degree, etc. And there is the habit of getting the girls married at a very young age. So if they go out of the community, then they go into other occasions. But otherwise, if they are staying back in the same area, they could develop these video skills and help within the community and earn some money for themselves. So they have been trained in video skills and in production of small videos, so where they could use within the community. So this is for developing their own entrepreneurial skills. Then the third is improving the agricultural implements for the women who are involved in agriculture. So there, this is also one of very important activity that women are involved, apart from the adda leaf collection and other things. So they do a lot of agricultural activities along with the men. And so the existing agriculture implements are traditionally made for use by men. And so now there have been new agriculture implements have been designed, or which will be useful for handling by women, so that the drudgery could be reduced to some extent. So these implements have been also developed, and they have been trained to use these implements, and then they are now utilizing them. So this is with regard to the livelihood technologies. And then also the nutritional issues, so that along with any economic activity and improvement that they have in their livelihood aspects, they could also maintain good health and nutrition and improve their living, what do you say, the health skills. So in that context, again, three things have been developed. One is studying the nutritional aspect of the women. That has always been very not so very satisfactory. And second is to improve their awareness on prenatal and postnatal care, because women automatically get into family life, and then they develop their the family reproductive life and all that. So they need to have awareness instead of just doing like something like a routine. Instead of that, if they're given awareness on what care to be taken in prenatal stage and also postnatal child rearing and these things, so that is also a second aspect. So one is on nutrition, education, and third is on herbal based medicine. So that also has been developed. And so this also helps them to help themselves as well as their families and neighborhood in treating small illnesses for which they need not run to the hospitals. And obviously, as we all know, the medical care is very limited in tribal area. Though there are government hospitals and other things, there still it is a limitation. So if they are given medicines suitable for small ailments which they could treat at home, maybe like something for indigestion, stomach ache, or anything like small ailments like headaches and things like that. So that would help them a lot in their easy living. And the last one because water is as one of very important source where it could lead to contamination and lead to waterborne diseases, and which will be very high, especially in seasons like where there is heavy rains and the water flows with mud and other things. So the water becomes highly contaminated, and it's very risky for them to consume such water without any treatment. So biosand filter helps in easy treatment of water, and where they need not struggle to boil the water and allow the water to sediment, and instead of all that exercise, this biosand filter helps them to easily get pure water, by which they can reduce or divert their attention to other activities. So these are the few technologies that we are working with, and which and today the stress will be on the biosand filters.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing the information. It was a great work you have done for the livelihood generation of and rural women. Ma'am, kindly please share us about the biosand filter. The information about the biosand filter, that about the construction of the filter bed.
I think okay, I'm just intervening because I think Lovraju is the right person because he's into it. So he will be talking on the biosand filters.
Okay, no
Yes.
Okay.
So the person who has actually developed and worked with this, so he is available. He will be explaining about this.
About this. Okay. So he's Lovraju.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me. I would like to thank Sailila and also the Sarif. Dr. Sarif has explained everything about the filters. He covered a lot, and biologically and physically covered a lot. So apart from that, I can able to share the community. Some of the community people here, they can share experience about the water filter before and after. Then after that, I can explain the technology how it will work. Is it fine?
Sir. Go ahead.
నా పేరు కొర్ర లావణ్య. నమస్తే సార్, నా పేరు కొర్ర లావణ్య. మా విలేజ్ జాంగూడ లయ సంస్థ నుండి మాకు టేపులు ఇచ్చినందుకు అందరు ఆరోగ్యంగా, మాకు చాలా దూరంగా వాటర్ ఉండేది. ఇప్పుడు ప్రస్తుతానికి ఇంటి దగ్గర అన్ని చేసుకొని మనం వాడుకొని పిల్లలు అందరూ క్షేమంగా ఉన్నాము. పెద్దలు చిన్నలందరూ క్షేమంగా ఉన్నాము. మళ్ళీ ముందు చాలా ఇబ్బందిగా ఉండేది, వాతావరణం కూడా వర్షాలు పడేటప్పుడు చాలా నీరుకి చాలా ఇబ్బంది పడేవాళ్ళు. ఇప్పుడైతే లయ సంస్థ నుండి మాకు టేప్ ఇచ్చారు కాబట్టి చాలా బాగుంది సార్.
Anisha ma'am, trying to translate it if possible.
Yeah. His name is Lavanya. The filter has been installed 2 years back. So before that, they faced a lot of struggles to drink a safe drinking water. Then after that installation filter, their health is improved, and also now they feel better when comparing to earlier. So she is sharing this his experience.
Sir, want to know that what is the actual source of water?
The stream. They will
The
get
stream water.
Yes,
So the stream water is contaminated.
Yes.
What type of contamination is it?
Sorry, can you speak loudly? I cannot hear you.
Which type of contamination is there in that stream water?
In the stream water, particularly, she is saying that during the rainy season, it will be more contaminated. So meanwhile, it's contaminated that during the rainy season, I can't able to drink without boiling.
Okay.
No, actually, during rainy season, the water gushes so much that all the soil and everything mixes, and so without any treatment, the water cannot be used directly. So it is very useful at in those times.
So the problem is
Even
basically
normal.
during rainy
Otherwise,
season.
contamination per se does not happen much because there is not so much of human activity very closed places like that. So not so much like what we see in urban not that type of a contamination, but the mud and everything gets, and it becomes not easy, not good for drinking.
Potable one. It is not
Yes,
potable
not potable.
one. Okay. Which type of problem, medical problem, they was suffering from before the filters?
For water, biosand filters?
Before establishing before use of that biosand filter. What physical, what problem they were suffering from? Medical problem they were suffering from.
లవరాజ్ గారు చెప్తారా
Yeah, yeah.
మీరు అంటే ముందు ఎలాంటి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉండే వాళ్ళకి వీళ్ళు ఇది వాడక
కమ్యూనిటీ రిప్రజెంట్ ఉన్నారా, ఆవిడ అప్పుడు ఉన్నారా, ఆవిడ చెప్పించమంటారండి.
పర్వాలేదంటే ఆవిడ చెప్పింది మీరు విని అంటే చెప్పండి, ఎందుకంటే చాలా ఇదవుతుంది. ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళు ఎటువంటి రకమైన హెల్త్ ఇష్యూస్ తోని ఇదివరకు సఫర్ అయ్యేవారు, మన ఇంటర్వెన్షన్ తోని ఎలాగా ఇప్పుడు బాగుంది అనేది చెప్పండి అంతే.
నమస్తే మ్యామ్, నా పేరు కొండమ్మ మ్యామ్. ఇంతకు ముందు అయితే మాకు హెల్త్ పరంగా చాలా ఇష్యూస్ వచ్చాయి. అంటే వాటర్ ప్రాబ్లం వల్ల చాలా ఇబ్బంది పడేవాళ్ళం. హెల్త్ పరంగా చాలా ప్రాబ్లం ఫేస్ చేసేవాళ్ళం. వాటర్ చాలా దూరంగా ఉండేది, దూరం తీసుకొచ్చి వాడుకునే వాళ్ళం. అలాగే రెయిన్ సీజన్ లో వర్షం వల్ల అదే వాటర్ పాడైపోయేది. దానివల్ల ఆ డ్రింకింగ్ వాటర్ వాడడం వల్ల చాలా హెల్త్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వచ్చాయి. స్టమక్ పెయిన్ కానీ, మలేరియా కానీ, ఇలాగ వాంటింగ్స్, విరేచన లాంటివి చాలా వచ్చాయి. జలుబు, దగ్గు ఇలాంటి ఇష్యూస్ వచ్చాయి మేడం. చాలా హెల్త్ పరంగా ఇబ్బంది పడే వాళ్ళము. ఇప్పుడైతే బయోసైన్ వాటర్ ఫిల్టర్స్ ఇవ్వడం వలన, మంచి వాటర్ తాగడం వలన హెల్త్ కొంచెం బాగుంటుంది. అన్ని విధాలుగా హెల్త్ ఇష్యూస్ ఎక్కువగా ఉండే మేడం.
She is saying that earlier it was it used to be a big problem like fetching water, and for during rainy season it used to be very difficult for them, and the health issues were like malaria, cold, cough, vomiting, stomach pain. So these kind of health issues used to be there, but with this water filters, all it has reduced. All this has reduced, and they are happy with it. చెప్పండి, ఇంకేంటి, ఇంకేమైనా చెప్పదలుచుకున్నారా?
యాక్చువల్ గా అంటే హెల్త్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ అంటే చాలా లేడీస్ కి అయితే చాలా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి మేడం. అంటే ఇప్పుడు హెల్త్ పరంగా రక్తహీనత ఇలాంటివి వస్తున్నాయి కదా మేడం, లేడీస్ కి ఎక్కువగా ఎర్రబట్ట, తెల్లబట్ట లాంటివి, అలాంటి ఇష్యూస్ కూడా వస్తూ ఉంటాయి. చాలా ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఫేస్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం అనమాట లేడీస్. అదే వాటర్ వల్ల చాలా హెల్త్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ రావడం వల్ల చాలా రకాలుగా ఇబ్బంది పడుతూ ఉంటాము.
ఓకే, కానీ ఓకే సరే. లోకరాజ్ గారు, ఇప్పుడు మీరు కొంచెం అంటే దీని గురించి చెప్పడం బాగుంటుందేమో కదండి. వాటర్ ఫిల్టర్ ఎలా మనకి దాని టెక్నాలజీ ఎలాగా వీళ్ళకి ఇదవుతుంది అనేది, టెక్నాలజీ గురించి మాట్లాడేయండి.
ఓకే ఓకే. So the community shared their problem before and after installation, how they benefited the shed. But I can right now I can explain the technology, what technology we are using.
So one question I was having. Am I audible, sir? One question I was having. Did they face any maintenance or repairing problem while using that biosand filter?
That thing I can explain. Right now I'm coming to that point only. So I can explain everything.
So we want to know that from the beneficiary. Yes, sir?
Okay. అంటే ఇప్పుడు దానికి ఏమైనా మెయింటెనెన్స్ కి సంబంధించి దానికి ఏదో మెయింటెనెన్స్ ఎంత
While using the technology, are they facing any problem?
డబ్బులు కానీ ఏదైనా ఖర్చు పెడుతున్నారా దానికి, లేదంటే దానికి ఎలా ఉన్నాయి ఫిల్టర్ వాటర్ ఫిల్టర్
అంటే ఏంటి దాన్ని పెట్టట్లేదు సార్,
లేదు
ఓన్లీ తాగడానికి ఉపయోగిస్తున్నాం.
దానికి ఏమి డబ్బులు ఏం ఖర్చు
లేదు సార్.
తర్వాత రిపేర్స్ అలాంటివి ఏమైనా వస్తున్నాయా, అంటే ఏమైనా అలాంటివి ఉన్నాయా, ప్లస్ మనీ ఏమైనా ఖర్చు అవుతుందా ఒకటి, తర్వాత ఈజీ మెయింటెనెన్స్ గానే ఉందా, లేకపోతే ఏమైనా డిఫికల్టీ ఫేస్ చేస్తున్నారా? ఆవిడ పాయింట్
రిపేర్లు ఏమైనా వచ్చాయా, దానికి ఏమైనా
లేదు సార్, ఇంకా రాలేదు, రోజు వాడుతుంది.
Okay, it is no maintenance costs incurred, and it is easy maintenance, and till now it is okay. It seems no problem has been
Okay,
faced.
Miss, it is easily they can use it within a very easy way.
Yes,
easy
yes.
handle of the biosand filter. They are not facing any problem, technical problem in that, right?
No.
Okay. So now please explain us about the technical details of the biosand filter.
Yeah. So this technology we are adapted from the Netherlands. So that technically some points is that it doesn't require any energy. It's a zero energy filter. So there is a traditional method. Earlier we used the stones and everything to get the filtration. So that technology we have improved, and we use concrete one, the concrete structure thing. In that we had the material, the gravel and fine sand. We will add, and we will pour the water. It will be taken out the bacteria, virus, and everything will be removed. So the purified water will come. This is the individual houses we are giving. Altogether around 150 filters we have been installed in the Paderu region, in Visakhapatnam Paderu region. Is there any question?
Only 150 filters we have installed there.
Yes.
In a single village.
No.
Okay.
There are a lot of villages. One village will be around 30 to 40 households.
Okay, near about villages also we have covered in this.
Yes. Nearby villages also we have covered. Who the problems, having more problems for the water, we are giving the filters.
The villages that has more that are facing more problems, that is where the installation focuses.
Yes, it depends on the water contamination.
Okay. Right, sir. Sir, did we have any specified size of that sand and gravel which we are using for the filter bed?
Yes, basically we will use 3 types of sand. It's a fine sand. Like we fine sand means that the crusher thing we will get from that material in the crusher. Like we will do the process is took long time to get that fine sand. Basically one is fine sand and other one is the gravel we will use.
What about the efficiency of that biosand filter? Like what is the minimum time required to filter? What is the minimum time required to filter the water, contaminated
water? 21 days. 21 days.
కాదండి, ఇప్పుడు వాటర్ వేసిన తర్వాత ఎంతసేపట్లో ఫిల్టర్ అవుతుంది అని అడుగుతున్నారు.
So basically when we install we have to wait 21 days, and after that in 60 seconds we will get 1 liter of water. This is the flow rate. We can calculate the flow rate. And during the 60 minutes, we definitely have to get 1 liter of water.
21 days are the waiting period, we can say.
Yes, because the biolayer formation is required. The biolayer
to set that bed. To set the bed.
Yes, to set that bed also, and to formation of the biolayer also.
Okay. Biolayer, for setting of that biolayer on that filter bed, it takes 21 days. After that, immediately within a minute, we get 1 liter of water treated.
Yes. It's a flow rate. We can calculate, and we will do the monitoring also. In every 3 months, we will check the flow rate, whether it's working well or not.
Okay. Sir, Right. Thank you, sir. Did we have tasted that treated water?
Yes, sorry.
Did we have any tasting of that water after treatment?
The tasting we
Through the
cannot
test.
Yes, we have done the test, and after that only we have been installed the filters. And after that also, after finishing installation also, we will check the flow rate. In 60 seconds, how much water is getting out. We have some thumb rules to check the filtration thing.
Okay. So let us know about the maintenance and repairing required for the technology.
So it's a zero maintenance. When we install this filter, it will never ask for the maintenance. So only thing that we have to be careful about the bio layer. So we cannot touch that bio layer, and we cannot disturb that bio layer. So and if you disturb that bio layer, again we have to wait 21 days more to get fresh water.
Set. Okay. But what if the water is too like in rainy season? I think if the water is heavily contaminated, it may take time, or we need to maintain that bed also, filter bed.
Yes, even the very contamination water also it will get purified
with the same flow rate.
With the same flow rate only.
And so, what is the basic cost of that installation of a single biosand filter?
The cost of the filter will be around 3,000 rupees. It depends on the villages, how the far from the transportation and also labor cost we have to calculate. It may be the cost will increase.
Okay, based on the distance and
Distance of the place.
Distance, it vary.
Yes.
Okay. And it just in one-time investment.
That's just a one-time investment. There is no maintenance.
Okay. So one more thing which I want to know is there any involvement of the local people for manufacturing of that filter? Like any employment opportunity we are providing to the local community over there?
Yes. So we have two districts here. The East Godavari district. So we have been made these filters. So there we have a missionary and everything. So there the local community people we are involving, like who the people were middle drops, like in education, the employment is not there. That type of people who are interested, we can involve. The knowledge transformation is going through.
Okay. So we are also providing employment opportunity to those who are interested.
Yes.
That is nice. Sir, also want to know that what type of challenges we have faced during absorption of this technology. Did we have faced any challenges in this?
Yes, and the main thing is that the transport. This is the weight is too much weight. So the very contaminated water will be in the remote areas. So we need to transport this filter to the villages. By that time, the vehicles will not go. We have to carry through the manpower. So during that time, we can face a problem. But actually, this type of filter is required for that type of villages only, because they're having real problem with that water. So somewhat by the time we feel some challenges, but somewhat we are managing.
Okay, so now we have to miss the installation. We can't do that on the site if we will carry the material. Is it possible to install that filter at the site itself?
No, but because the structure we need to prepare somewhere, because the structure and inside the material anyway we can transport through the vehicles, or we will using the mans. That is not a big weight. Only the structure of the filter will be the weight.
Okay, the structure is already heavy. That is the problem.
We are working on that. We are moving to the steel filters, and the plastic one we are thinking. So that thing we will
fiber.
coming soon. We will sort out that problem.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your experience with us.
Thank you. Thank
You told, in the Kankunadi, you told to both of them, no? Field.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am, and sir, for sharing your experience with us. And it was nice to have an interaction with you. And we are happy to know that through this intervention and awareness, the positive health impact was observed on that community. Over to Manisha.
Yeah, that's it. What is it you want me to something?
Okay.
Anything? I didn't get you.
Manisha.
Yes,
Acha, sorry.
Thank you very much, man. Nothing. It's okay.
Manisha from the Vigyan
Over to Tusha. No, Manisha, 4, ma'am. Over to Tusha. Right. Thank you.
Am I audible now? Am I audible now? Can anyone from the group please respond?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Sorry for the technical glitch, ma'am. Actually, the other system was not working. So, Welcome to the panel discussion session. In this panel discussion, as we always have the rule, we discuss about how the policy recommendations can be made so that we can improve upon the existing policies that we have for the healthy society as per the theme. And also by listening to the feedback that we got from the three technologies, from the feedback that we get, from the learnings that we get, so that we can implement it and improvise such policies that we already have. So for as per the rule, so for the session we have Padam Shri Dr. Leela Joshi, Indian who is an Indian gynecologist and noted social worker from Madhya Pradesh. She is an 84-year-old woman who is also known as the Mother Teresa of the region, and she is a chief medical director from. She's a retired chief medical director from Indian Railways, Assam, uh, in the year 1996. And after retirement, she got settled in Ratlam with a mission to make this tribal district anemia free, so that the maternal mortality can be reduced. So for this humanitarian purpose, has been honored and awarded in the national and international platforms repeatedly, and one of them is Padam Shri by President in 2020, and many more such women-related awards have been awarded to her, like Women Achievers Award, Women Pride Award, and many other awards are to her. The list is too long for the platform. So I would invite Dr. Leela Joshi ma'am for her comments.
I would like to share the screen.
Yes, ma'am, the access is with you, ma'am. You can please share the screen.
Good
The screen
evening.
is visible, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Am
Good
I
evening, ma'am.
audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. You are very much audible, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers for making me a part of this wonderful event, that is Azadi Ka Mahotsav. Now, during the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'll be sharing my field experiences of about 24 years for eradication of anemia in tribals and underprivileged section of the society. My main mission, my main aim is to reduce maternal mortality due to anemia. Mission is that no mother should die or suffer because of anemia, which is totally preventable. As I know, as we all know, in fact, that anemia, directly or indirectly, is one of a very major cause of maternal loss of pregnant mothers, and it adds to our national maternal mortality as well. Anemia is very prevalent in tribals, mainly an underprivileged section of the society, and a beauty is that it is preventable. So I had started my mission after my retirement in 1996. To start our mission, to start our work, and only after retirement, because of this, my mission, I settled in Ratlam, a tribal majority district of Madhya Pradesh. And luckily, though the place was new to me, but gradually our full team was ready to join the mission, and a small NGO I formed by the name of Sri Seva Sansthan. This included most of the members of our group was retired persons, mostly teachers. They were wanting to give to something to the society, and they were happily joined the mission. Our working pattern is that we select a remote area, we register the pregnant, we organized in fact a free health checkup camp for pregnant mothers. We first register them, we try to take the history in detail, we examine them, and we do their hemoglobin checkup. And in fact, about 90, even above 90% pregnant mothers were found to be anemic. So we separately listed these anemic mothers and started following them up. We, when anemia is mild to moderate, the patients are treated with oral irons, and then we also distribute them a protein powder prepared by us only. And when anemia is very severe and the patient is nearing term, we had started IV iron sucrose drips. One important point being that we did not leave any patient, any anemic mother, till the anemia is corrected. And we had a very nice results also following our efforts. But there are few interesting incidences I would like to share with you all. As I said that we registered them, this lady with red dress was standing in the queue for registration. And this red color was in fact deceptive. I went to her, I felt something fishy and I went to her, and I found that she was absolutely pale sort of a thing. I got her hemoglobin done. It was 4.5 or 4.6, something like that. I called for the health field worker, Asha Karyakarta, and I asked her, what did you do for all these 9 months? She said that I was visiting her regularly, I was giving her iron tablet, पर क्या करूं वो लेती नहीं थी. So what I am trying to stress upon is that very well-trained, educated and motivated staff is very, very essential. Similarly, when I say about the training of the staff, I still find in many health units that the local staff, they give iron sucrose very slowly with the fear of reaction. So, well-trained staff, as per my experience, well-trained staff is a backbone of success for any such projects. And more than that, what I feel, that follow-up is very, very essential. One-time action is as good as no action. Where now, with all these efforts for reducing maternal mortality, I am happy to share that the maternal mortality of this district, this is tribal district, the MP, the maternal mortality of Madhya Pradesh itself and especially this tribal district is very high. Though now it is on decline. But during this period when we had started IV iron sucrose and following these anemic patients very sincerely, the maternal mortality of the district reduced to the extent that it is less than even our national maternal mortality rate. And as the result of improved health of pregnant mothers, the neonatal death rates also of the district reduced to less than state average, while the other parameters did not change. They continue to remain same. So what I feel that follow-up, I especially stress that follow-up is very, very essential. Now, after working for the pregnant mothers for few years, we felt that these mothers, even during their first confinement, very young primigravidas, they were also anemic. It means they were already anemic. Anemia, the pregnancy has just exaggerated the existing anemia. So we thought that unless until we are able to produce a healthy, non-anemic future mothers, probably our efforts for eradicating anemia will be incomplete. So we started school health checkup camps also and hemoglobin raising camps. Our strategy for working were same. We were registering a school and trying to initially educate. We were trying to give lecture and take some feedback from the students. This project is by the name of 12 by 12 by 12, meaning thereby that hemoglobin of every child, though it is for both boys and girls as well as for boys and girls, but it is mainly for the girls. So the hemoglobin of every child should be 12 gram% by the age of 12 years. If it is not possible, because in due course we realize that it is too much, probably we will not be able to achieve that target. So we extended it to one more 12. That if it is not achieved by the age of 12 years, then at least by the time the child, the boy or the girl reaches in class 12, the hemoglobin should be 12 gram%. So we registered the school and we reached there. We examined the child and we asked many questions. We take the history in detail. And many times we get many interesting replies. We ask them, what did you eat? Invariably, the girls, they say that, hum kuch kha ke nahi aaye hain. Okay, no problem. You might have brought something to eat in some dabba to eat in the school. No, we don't bring that dabba also. No problem. You get midday meal, you must be eating. So many of them, they are not even taking midday meal. Then what do? They say that we go home and then eat. After examination, even we ask, what would you become after this? You are studying, what you intend to become after you are complete the study. Most of the girls, they say we don't know, we have not thought of, and some they say will become doctors, some they say will become teacher, and very interestingly, many they say police. And we give first, after examination, after taking their blood for hemoglobin, we give them tablet albendazole, that is given for the intestinal worms, which is mainly very major cause of anemia in children. And while after when we follow them up, we used to find that in boys the response was good, but under the similar condition, the hemoglobin rise in girls was not satisfactory. We were all worried why it is so. One day, one of our member took me to a place and showed that these girls, they throw this from mouth, they throw this albendazole tablet. There was a good bunch of albendazole tablet lying there. Even when our group members, they used to put it in their mouth, give water, but even then they could manage. So these all are things, they are these mental blocks in this girl child probably is from their mother. So we have started in such camps, we have started calling their parents, mainly mothers, also to educate them. Chronic nutritional anemia. This girl is from a village near Ratlam city. She is looking so anemic. She was in class 9th and she did not have any complaint. When the anemia becomes chronic, the body gets so adjusted that they may not have any complaint. Even after repeatedly asking, she did not have any complaint. And she knew. But at the time of any sort of a stress, physical stress, say for instance, the girl after marriage is becoming pregnant, or if there is some big illness, then these anemic children, they do very badly. So these children, though her hemoglobin was also 4 point something gram%, and she had been she knew that her hemoglobin is low because she was being examined by some other NGOs also twice, thrice in the past. These severely anemic girls, we bring them to Ratlam and treat them with IV iron sucrose. We counsel her parents, and then ultimately when the course completed, say after about a month or so, she was re-examined and her hemoglobin went up to 9 point something gram%. So again, I would stress that follow-up is very, very essential. Only doing big camps does not carry any meaning. One-time action, I said, is as good as no action. So I feel a very important thing is that well-trained field staff. Of course, besides, it has to be a holistic approach, but well-trained field staff and follow-up is very, very essential. Now, As said and done, the latest figure, National Family Health Survey, what does it say for our nation? We are the one who had started giving iron folic acid to pregnant mothers in 1970. And thereafter we had so many programs for children, nutritional program for children. But still, now today, in spite of anemia getting reduced, the report says that anemia in many states have increased, and it is increasing. And mainly in women of childbearing age and in children. So there is a great need of reviewing our strategies, what we had been doing for anemia eradication so far. We have to review it. And there are few suggestions to boost up anemia eradication program. Very simple suggestions. One is, and this is being given by those experts who had vast experience in working for anemia. The preventable adolescent healthcare education should be included in high school curriculum to sensitize the children at that age about anemia. At times I wonder that while admitting a child in the school, at least I know of my local situation. We ask for, this has been reported, we ask for so many income certificate, caste certificate, so many things we have to be filled up. But there is nothing about hemoglobin. If there should, we feel that there should be a separate column for hemoglobin and group RH also, but at least for the hemoglobin. And if the child is anemic at the time of admission, he or she should be given temporary admission and should be asked to take treatment for this, and the admission should only be confirmed when the anemia, say after 2 months or so, whatever the time is, should be confirmed. This will help to participate. The parents have also to participate. Parents will be knowing that their child is anemic and they have to do something. It is the participation of the parents also. Then there is a suggestion. Corona in such a short time has, I think, everyone, the child also in a remote villages, they know about the corona. So why can't we? This can also can become a sort of a government of India should have a campaign for anemia-free India on telephone ring. These are very simple things, but maybe of great use. Anemia-free India on telephone ringtone, print media, radio, TV, etc. And another suggestion is that we can definitely start to mention my hemoglobin is so much in iCards, in driving license. These are really very small procedures, but would have really a long-term benefit for anemia eradication. Even for the pregnant mothers with 10 gram hemoglobin, we become satisfied when the hemoglobin is 9 gram or so. But this is being suggested that Even a pregnant woman, even with 10 gram hemoglobin, should be labeled as high risk mother, so that she can be taken care of better. So friends, I say that for reducing, to conclude my talk, I'll say that for reducing our national maternal mortality and morbidity, it is very essential to work on anemia, especially in the vulnerable group, in tribals and underprivileged section of the society, and also in adolescent girls. Because these pregnant mothers add maximally to our maternal mortality rate. Though the maternal mortality is on decline, that is a very good sign. But for the further drop, we have to have more efforts, and just now, as we have said, that there are few simple suggestions. If they are implemented, I am very sure that we can win the fight against anemia and reduce maternal mortality, and this will help us to make anemia mukt Bharat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And we, through this platform, we give a call, the clarion call that you have given, anemia mukt Bharat. That is a great clarion call, and we would suggest that scientific institutions and the concept of medical report card that you introduced, of each individual having, like we have an identity for with the name, for the region, for the age, blood group. So medical identity should be there for every individual, and we should promote for each person to introduce themselves medically as well, so that we have a we give an importance, the society feels an importance of a medical condition of a person. And these suggestions were very helpful. Like, these suggestions will always be helpful, ma'am. But we have two questions for you. Like, the model that you implemented is very functional model, ma'am. From giving awareness to the students to giving a follow up and all. So our audience would like to know what is the exact. Could you please describe more upon the components of the model that you implemented, like the infrastructure that you needed for implementing this, the funding, how did you arrange for that funding, the manpower that you needed to implement this whole campaign of Anemia Mukt Bharat, and the beneficiaries, and like what was the response of the beneficiaries for the first time that you contacted them?
The response of the beneficiaries, I mean, initially there was little difficulty, but I think this is for their benefit. We've found that the number of the beneficiaries in the camps are increasing. It means that they know that they must come for the camp, and it is for their benefit. So the number was increased now, because in most of the government health centers, good facilities. These are the things when in the starting of our campaign. But now there are most of the benefits are available in the government centers. So I think like IV iron, sucrose, etc. But by and large, the number of beneficiaries in the camps have increased initially, and then there was a sort of a station. It remained as such.
Okay. And what was the level of information and
Please
awareness?
repeat.
About...
It is not clear exactly what is your query.
Am I audible now, ma'am?
You are audible now.
Okay. Ma'am, actually, we wanted to know about more about the model that you implemented, that you worked upon a model from
No, later
arranging
part,
the
please
structure.
repeat.
Ma'am, you arranged the whole campaign that you led. It is based on some model arranging for the infrastructure, arranging for the manpower, skilled manpower at the forefront, and arranging for the beneficiaries, contacting the local administration for organizing the campaigns. So, how was the journey about that? How was your
Yes,
journey? Yeah.
yeah, it was wonderfully fine. There are so many NGOs have come forward. Even the government department had helped us for doing this thing. They were convinced that we are doing something. In fact, we got help from almost many NGOs and the government departments, health department, Mahila Bal Vikas department. They used to provide us with vehicle also for going into the remote areas, and then iron folic acid tablets. They helped us a lot.
So
And
basically, it was
I personally feel that, beg your pardon?
yes, ma'am. So basically, it was a public and society-driven program.
Yes, exactly. Uh,
Okay, so the campaign was a public driven, and you saw a public awareness on the ground that people are interested.
exactly.
Okay. So, ma'am, during your campaigns, when you gave information, awareness about the hemoglobin, its importance in our medical life and like future life, so did the local field partners that you had, did they give information about the local solutions as well, like the nutritional needs
Yes,
that we
yes,
used
yes,
to
yes, 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 yes. About the nutritional, in the sense, we had even one of our partners used to give chana and gur, and
Okay.
uh, they used to distribute it, and they did it in some schools, and they did it very sincerely and regularly, and we did find a good hemoglobin rise. So we started advocating these things also, because
Okay.
it is easily available with them.
Okay, ma'am. And you talked about some mental blocks that came your way.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
We,
So, what were the social blocks, like the social mentality? There must be some social blocks as well.
see, when we ask them about what did you have, what did you take and come diet, they said no. Even for the midday meal, they said no. So we were wondering why the meal is available and they have not taken anything from the morning. Why don't they take this meal? Then we found out that their mother has told, and then on Monday, whenever used to have the camp in some school, many of the girls used to have fast, and this sort of a restriction was not there for the boys. Then their mothers, they used to tell us that, used to tell them that don't take meals, we don't know who prepares and all that. So this sort of a mental block. So we started, when we came to know this thing, we started inviting the parents, especially the mothers also, so that this I mean to say that they were the mental block, especially for the girl child.
Yes, ma'am, that is very true in the sense that you people contacted the exact root of the problem, in the sense that you invited the parents on board so that the problem can be solved at the root as well. So inviting, and I think that would go to the generations when they would understand that hemoglobin or any other medical condition is so important to analyze and detect, and something needs to be done to improvise upon that. So this model of public and society driven campaigns is a very unique one, in the sense because we haven't many things many this platform has seen many changing stories, but this driven campaign, this public driven campaign is I think one of the first of of its kind,
Yeah.
and it is well inspiring for other societies as well to take up such stories. And I think the same model can be implemented at the government level as well, where the society can take up the problem, can solve it on its own, and present a role model for the other societies to follow.
We have approached more than 3.5, 3.5 lakh children so far. And I think because it is a sort of a public driven program, we did not face much difficulty in approaching the beneficiaries.
Yeah, because the field connect was already there with you. So
Exactly.
it gives a very important lesson to the I think the policy makers, that involving the community at the ground and making them aware of what is being done at the government level and what is the aim of driving any project. The program gets easy to be implemented at the ground, and it gets a multiplier effect in the sense that people get to know it. They come forward on their own to get it implemented on their on at the ground level. So that is
Correct.
a very very great lesson that we get from this, from your story, ma'am. Thank you for being here and inspiring the generations and the people, all the people who are seeing this platform. So this is, as I already told, that this is the first story of public and society driven campaign that is usually on this platform we see something that has been pushed from the government side or the administration side, and the people have been made aware. But it is a privilege, and we are very happy to see that there are people at the ground as well who can drive the reverse gear and can make the government aware that such campaigns can also be done.
It
Thank you
is
very
really
much.
so. It is really so. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. So, moving from Dr. Leela Joshi, I would invite the next panelist of our session, Dr. S. Rao, who has worked as a senior advisor in Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology. Welcome, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir. You are very much audible. Welcome, sir. So we would like to hear from you what are your suggestions and recommendations after listening to the previous sessions that we have.
In fact, first of all, I thank Vijay Prasad, the organizer, for this event, for giving me the opportunity. And when Madam Leela Joshi was talking, in fact, after my retirement from the government, very senior position, I am now taken up a job as a vice president in the healthcare group. I'm talking from an hospital, tertiary teaching hospital. I regulate about 600 doctors here. So that is my job at the moment. So it's a very, very heartwarming that you mentioned about anemia. Just now somebody entered. I think let me put on my stopwatch because I don't want to take more time. We're already late. So let me start. Okay. So what happened was servant maid was just fallen up, just fell down after 2 hours of work serving me. And my wife was working in Delhi, so she was dependent on her. When I brought her in the morning, they found that she has only 3% anemia, the hemoglobin, and she is admitted immediately. Maybe I have to cook today at night. But it is no. So anemia is very rampant, not only where the Madhya Pradesh, but here in Tamil Nadu and many places. And in fact, people like Dr. Leela Joshi's early initiatives have been responsible for the present national mission on anemia Mukta Bharat, the National Health Mission. Many of the lessons learned from the madam's experience have been put into practice in this particular mission program initiated by Prime Minister under Poshan Abhiyan program. So the government very much has realized as a major program at the national level. But having said that, promoting local innovation, local intervention, healthcare, agriculture, as well as rural development has not been new. There have been a lot of experiments. The organizations like Honeybee, National Institute of Foundation, then Srishti, IAN, a lot of organizations came up promote local innovation. And overall, it has been realized that a huge country, equivalent to many small countries of Europe, one design doesn't work. One design in one area doesn't work. Communities are different, castes are different, habits are different, behaviors are different, language is different. It's a very, very amazing story that goes on. As you saw in the month, somebody was talking in Telugu in the morning, and they're being translated for the desalination oil, water issues. So I think one particular model doesn't suit to all. Therefore, anything which is implemented cannot be dependent on one model. One of the important things is that there is a program, and because I come from a very high-tech area, there is a program called Biodesign, the Stanford Biodesign Program, Stanford University. What happens there is people who are learned people, engineers, doctors, scholars, social scientists, and then businessmen, investors, they all scout for innovations. They sit around the doctors in hospitals, local situations, see what improvements can be done on the local innovation, and also design around that. So what we have to do is to promote, first of all, there may be hundreds of local innovations which we are not aware of it, even though there are many organizations. So the first important step for me, there should be a policy for schools, colleges, and institutions of more doctors and engineers to scout for local innovations. Scouting for local innovations for improvement, or further innovation, or designing them to suit to the local needs is very, very important, based on the designs available. This is where hundreds of projects came out to Stanford University, even from National Design Institute of US. Most of these vaccine files were designed from there, even for the health sector. Simple. The other important thing I know, one of the best programs where such collective action for promoting local innovation as a spare time opportunity or a full-time mandatory opportunity was also initiated by long ago by Chinese government. Program is called SPARK, SPARK, and this SPARK program, what Chinese did was thousands of engineers were mobilized rural areas to identify what type of innovations are possible, which can be scaled up, commercialized, if not protected by IPR. Anytime when you say innovation, a lot of the pundits will say, oh, you should have a patent, you should have a copyright. Doesn't matter, copyright or patent, as far as it benefits local people. So as a result, the SPARK products, including small needles, and then paper pins, and then toys, they were all made into what you call a government-aided program, along with the engineers and doctors, helping the rural community to promote innovations. So it should be a national campaign to promote a local innovation. Right. Then also, we have to also assess the situation where we can have new innovations to this mission. And finally, I think I agree with Dr. Joshi's experience that sustainability and also follow-up are very important. You just initiate some project for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, it will not sustain. Second important thing is capacity building. Ultimately, nobody can stay in those places where innovation is happening. The people who are involved should move on one locality to another locality. So you have to build local capacity to sustain those local innovations and also create enough skill set for them to further improve from time to time to improve those technologies. And then lastly but not least is that the Atal Innovation Mission has realized this actually. It's not that first time we're talking about promoting local innovation. Atal Innovation Mission has realized it. What they have done, they are making innovation clubs or innovation kiosks in the panchayats and small places, so that the farmers, instead of playing cards, moving here and there, come and sit and think, अरे क्या कर सकते हैं हमारे इसमें, हल कैसे improve कर सकते हैं, या how do you increase the spray. For example, I know yesterday there was an engineer boy who left all that and is working in a village. He has developed a very simple drone which can spray acres in its farmer of pesticide, and that will save a lot of 50% of pesticide and also very targeted application. So the innovation cannot be always some very small thing. It could be in the healthcare, it could be in agriculture, it could be small technology, it could be medium technology, it could be high technology. So anything is feasible. So we should not close our doors for, the high technology is only for urban areas and rural technologies are different. So this particular divide, divide of rural and urban, first of all should completely die. Long ago, there was IIT director who said a concept of Pura. Pura is urban amenities in local rural areas. Providing urban amenities in rural areas, what is wrong in having a small workshop in the rural areas, which is sponsored by investors or anybody, so that people will find out their own requirements. Tell them small skills. And then secondly, the other important thing is, you should have a 10th standard or going into IITs. All these things should be removed at the rural level. They should be given free skills because plumbing or drilling, these exercises or design making or using a computer. People are using mobile left and right, even on the street, without knowing after 10th class and 3rd class. So there is also need for promoting all types of technologies without any hesitation, that it is urban or rural. So overall, although there were organizations, there are isolated examples of great success. Point number one design doesn't work. Point number two, there may be many technologies which we don't know in the local area, they are hidden. So there is a need for a scouting of these technologies. The involvement of technocrats, engineers, doctors on a large scale like China to mobilize these technologies for a commercial trains and also off-farm sustainability of farmers. The fourth thing is we should not bother about IPR or intellectual property protection as far as it benefits skill development and capacity building. The last one is that we should have an equal opportunity in terms of giving importing technological tools and techniques to even those people who do not have a minimum qualification. Don't go for a minimum qualification. Talent rests everywhere. So, driving a cycle, driving a motorcycle does not require any 10th standard. So therefore, we should be the technological tools and techniques and skills be freely available, either gender-based or education-based, community-based or caste-based. So such type of system has to be developed at the local level. Then I'm sure the innovation will spur and we'll have more and more stories like Dr. Leela Joshi in all sectors. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, sir. One more, like we have one more gem in the hat today. Like the one design in one area doesn't work. Like the model that you gave, that since every area is very unique, we need to have a different design for different areas, and we need to understand the different things that different problems, different local problems of the region, and similarly we need to think upon the different solutions for the local problems that we have, and also the local centers that you described upon for the people to engage in, so that they can understand that the problems are genuine, and this the like intelligence of the local people can be channelized to form solutions from the local problems. So that model, I think we need to think upon. Like one of the program of C division is there, community resilience centers, which is, I think, basically modeled around that only, so that community can be resilient, can be made resilient in the terms that the community will be the change maker only. They will be providing the solutions to that only. So I think that is one suggestion that like one recommendation that I would like request from you is that you have been at an administrative level, you have been working at the government level, and you have seen how the government works. And since so and after taking the feedbacks and the learning that we heard from the three technologies, so what suggestions would you basically give the government as a as in the make as to make in the policy, so that we can have a better version of the existing policy, or like a small component that could be added into the policy?
Yeah, actually, well, to me, the word policy, from the beginning, I never liked the word policy. What is we were required is we need a strategy. We need an action. The problem with policy is only statement, intention. But what we know is that policy has to be converted into strategy and action. Action has to be converted into the implementable, people, human resource, infrastructure, investment. Quite often, most of these technologies, like Narega or something, the way it is implemented is, I should not comment on that, either in the past or now. So the implementation problems are also there. Therefore, I agree with Dr. Jitendra Singh. It is a community education. If the community says, मुझे ये चाहिए भैया, तुम कोई पॉलिसी कर लो, strategy कर लो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. So the community demand is very important. Community capacity building is very important. And then telling them, you are good at some innovation, you can improve some innovation. And then, because that is why it is a National Science Foundation. And then SWIFT and all that. The moment you institutionalize, for example, you have one health concept, the animal and human health. Suddenly they made it one health institute. Now the problem is that policy of making an institute for everything, promoting local innovation, local innovate, one institute will make. And then we'll get all salaries, we're happy. So the thing is that the institutionalization at the community level is to be incorporated in the policy. And I'm very happy to say, I'm nothing to do with this government or that government. Everybody in the rural areas, every minister, most of the ministers come from rural areas. They actually know what is the problem. They have their own wish list, they have their own intentions. But the policy is afterwards paralyzed sometimes. Paralyzed policy will come. But many of the initiatives have been taken. The only best lesson I learned from Dr. Joshi, because of her, I heard her the third time, been hearing her. So the third, what is that lesson is that it is action, sustainability, and then updating ourselves. She has also mentioned something, as and when the community picked up, then the strategy became more and more enhanced, more and more people joined. So I think these 3-4 lessons from our experience. In fact, what I am saying, I'm inspired because I'm at a place where I'm telling you, I'm in the peak of college building, a tertiary medical college building. Above me, there are 600 admitted patients. And I was in the COVID year because from the government, I came down completely on the ground. I made a co-vaccine clinical trial. So many things I am doing here. In fact, there are lots of people who come here with anemia. Anemia is so rampant. And most of them are women suffering because of the family. So, in fact, I am inspired. I should thank Joshi, Madam Joshi, that I am now going to initiate something like this. So that government or no government, that the community should see. Maybe I'll invite her, So that way, this exercise, Savi, what is your name, Savi, forgot. This exercise by Vigyan and the collaboration that the people are all making to make it happen. So Savi Shinde, right? Savi Shinde.
Tusha.
Tusha. Oh yeah, Tusha. So very nice. I enjoyed the all talks. And then thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. Your very nice suggestion of making the government an action plan is very much important for the government to implement. And this suggestion would always remain with us, and we will include in the final suggestion list that we are making with this program. And one more gem has been added to the same. So for the next panelist, I would like to invite Dr. Sridevi and Purna Singh ma'am, who is currently serving as director at Central Food Technological Research, Mysore. Ma'am, you are very much welcome. Ma'am, are you there, ma'am? Dr. Sridevi, ma'am?
She's not there.
Okay, so we move to
I don't see her
Manisha.
name here.
Yeah, I think so. She's not here. So we'll move to our next panelist, Manisha, ma'am. We have heard her before in the third technology. She is working with Laya, and Laya is a organization which has worked very much at the field level. And from her, we would be expecting more of the field experiences, and we would expect that we can get some recommendations from the field level, and we can hear the community. Manisha, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening. See, as I said, Dr. Sai Leela ma'am is the principal investigator and she is leading the project, and I think she's the right person to talk on this.
Okay, ma'am. So
Okay, yeah, she can come in. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sailina, ma'am, we would like to hear from you. Like, what are the
Yeah.
basic, yeah.
The recommendations?
Yes, ma'am. Basically, we would like to hear, like, you people have been working with the community as well, and we have seen the policymakers as well do their job. So what bridge needs to be made between them so that the problem that was raised by Rao sir of in making an action plan. So where would you like to fit in the action role of action plan? And where would you like the community to make the action plan, or what role does the field level organization play in making an action plan?
Actually, it has been good that the projects are supported to experiment with the people in the needy people in the society. So we're able to try out different action plans and then implement it. I think a lot of work is being, good work is being done by DST in this direction, especially supporting action projects, so which will bring in more innovations and especially which are useful at the ground level. So so that way we feel it's really good that these projects are being given to different organizations and in helping them. And especially with reference to our project, a lot of good work has been done for upliftment of women. And so we also have a women technology park that has been built there, which will be useful for future for the community for conducting any meetings, and so it will be their own property. So that way it has been a good support for developing the community also. So more inputs are required, especially with respect to health and nutrition, and of course all water also. So the small things that which we have done, these need to be scaled up so that they can many, as one of our project person was telling, that it could be tested only in small sample, about 200 we have these biosand filters. So like that, it will be good if it can be scaled up to more people, and if this can be taken up as a by the DST or any other if this technology could be transferred or by LIA itself. So for with further funding or in any other with any other support, so that more people will benefit from this type of instead of leaving it at that point. So that way, I think we can do good work. And of course, nutrition and health, these things are always ongoing and never ending. I think maybe only the percentages will be reducing, but that need is always there in our country and even among educated population. So that is, so we need more projects in these lines, more support from DST, where people will learn to improve and maintain their own health. So that is the support, like Dr. Leela Joshi was saying, they need to be educated. She's doing such a good work. So we all of us are doing in small ways, but that needs to be scaled up so that many more generations, women will benefit. I think these are some things which need to be looked into so that it will benefit the community.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and for bringing the community viewpoint to the table. And I hope that the need of the scaling that you have raised will be soon taken care of, and the policy and the policymakers will definitely look into it and make a better version of ourselves. So,
Yeah.
due to some glitch, Dr. Sridevi ma'am could have dropped out, but she's with us again. So I welcome Dr. Sridevi ma'am, who is currently serving as director of CSIR Central Food Technological Research Institute, Karnataka. She has been to her name many pilot programs that she had organized for nutrition and health of the people. So, ma'am, we invite you to the platform.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are very much audible.
So you have anything particular you want me to highlight, or I can just speak?
Ma'am, basically, ma'am, we would love to hear from you. Like you have been leading the many pilot programs. So you have seen the both sides of the table as being an administrator level and also as an implementer. So what roadblocks are there that you faced, and how did you come up with the innovative solutions to implement it? And what would you suggest the policy makers were to implement it and to remodel it into a better platform?
Yeah, I seem to be going on and off. I hope I'm back and you can hear me.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am, we can very much hear you, ma'am.
So CFTRI is under the CSIR and we are in Mysore and we are in existence since 70 years. And one of the main mandate of this institute has been to address undernutrition in the country. So a lot of supplementary foods we have developed ever since the inception of our institute. And probably today everybody is very familiar with Amul spray, but the first technology that was developed in the 50s by this institute. And similarly, parboiling of rice, energy food. So when we talk about nutrition and impact studies, we have to take care of not only the calories and protein, but also the micronutrients that are required. And definitely the RDA is different for different age groups and gender and the kind of lifestyle they are leading. And this is one of the reasons why we have a large number of supplementary foods, especially aimed maybe at children or women and so on. So in the 12th plan between 2012 to 17, we had done one impact study in Anganwadis in Nanjangud. Nanjangud is a very small town which is around 20 kilometers from Mysore. Okay, in the Mysore district, that is probably the most undernourished among the Anganwadi children. So we selected 270 children, and what we did was one of the Anganwadis, which had around 50 children, was kept as control. We did not intervene. The remaining children, what we did was they continued to have the government intervention program as per there, but we selected a slot in the afternoon after the child has lunch, goes to sleep and gets up before going home. That is when we made an intervention of giving CFTRI products. So one thing that everybody probably would notice is that because of the logistics, the government usually gives only one kind of food. But there is no one perfect food which will give all the RDA that the child requires. So it was important for us that we introduce menu diversification. So we used 7 products. One was the zinc fortified mango bar, then spirulina chicky, energy food, sesame paste, which is a high energy, high protein paste, and high protein rusk, and a micronutrient mix. So because we are in the south of India, the children get rice and sambar in the afternoons. So the micronutrient mix was mixed along with the sambar and given to the children in the plate itself. And this was done once a week. Twice, and then we gave other products on other days. So at the end of 6 months, as compared to the baseline before the study, we found that almost 80% of the children showed a lot of improvement in vitamin A. Although booster vitamin A is given once in 6 months, there were a lot of children even showing 2 we found with white dot spots. And in hemoglobin, definitely we were able to push more than 80% into the normal. So it is possible that we can make a difference in the nutrition scenario amongst the children, provided we are able to look locally and design these foods in such a way after knowing what is it that they are eating on a daily basis and giving, supplementing with what is missing in their diet. Now we have taken up a study also in West Bengal in a predominantly tribal region where there are a lot of severe acute malnourished children are there. And we are trying to see, now we are 1 month into the program, and we hope to see positive results after maybe 3 or 4 months. Similarly, in Odisha too, the government was very keen to introduce ragi, because Odisha does produce a lot of millets. Now, millets are having much more micronutrients, vitamins and minerals as compared to polished rice. The thing is, because these are very small millets, the processing becomes extremely important. So although a lot of communities do use these local grains, they are not aware that there could be a lot of anti-nutrients in them which could hinder the absorption of vitamins, minerals. Ragi laddu. Then in Karnataka, along with the Spirulina Foundation, we have started one study with chicky that has been supplemented with spirulina. Now, chicky is a traditional food which is well liked by children. Spirulina is having 70% protein, and it is a very rich source of many vitamins and minerals. But the taste sometimes is not very good. So we have made sure that the taste is exactly how traditional chicky is, but we have added spirulina also. And here again, we have found that some of the children have been able to come out of their undernourished status. Right now, we have completed around 3 months of this study, and we hope that very soon we will be seeing more positivity. The Women and Child Development is also in partnership with us. So we have found that also by involving the self-help groups, we do a lot of training programs in the institute. So we are training from farmers to self-help groups, especially women, and even short-term courses for people who are working in the industry. So many of our, especially the self-help group, they are not, they go more by taste, not so much by nutrition retention and how much processing has to be done to ensure that the nutrients are bioavailable. So during our course, we teach them these things, and we also optimize their processes such that they are able to give nutritious foods to the communities that they are supplying. So then we also do testing. So often you find that when a food is made, that day it may have all the nutritional retention. But after a week or so, it is possible that the nutrients are going. So it is very important to understand as to how the nutrients in that particular food are retained or they are getting lost. Many times these added nutrients, sometimes we are fortifying them, they will react with the other substances that are there in the food, leading to the loss of proteins and other things also. Color changes could be there. So we do shelf life studies, we do sensory analysis, and we look at the food safety. Many times when powders are given, we don't realize that there is a lot of microbial load in them already. But when they pick up a little bit of moisture, that is when the food starts getting spoiled and the microbial load goes up. Often if hygiene is not practiced, or if it is not done in a hygienic manner, it is possible that such accidents can take place in feeding programs. So the institute does the training, we do the testing, we do the development. We also have free technologies. Some of these technologies are freely available on our website, and if anybody downloads it, they can come over to our institute and we provide training. So these are some of the activities as well as what can be done. Apart from that, of course, you might be knowing about the Kisan Sabha app, where CSIR has made this. And we find that many of the small manufacturers, if they connect to that, they can get the raw materials cheaper. They don't have to pay the market prevailing prices. So it is very important that technology should intervene even in procurement as much as in the processing as well as the shelf life of these products. And all of this will definitely help in the nutritive status change in the country. And the last point I want to make is CFTRI has also been given money by CSIR, and we had developed as a mission mode project a number of products for breakfast. This is yet to be implemented, but apart from the midday meal program or just giving the interventions, the breakfast we all know is one of the most important meals of the day, and large number based on the regional preferences of foods. CFTRI has helped to develop all these products. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for highlighting the activities of CFTRI in this in making the society healthier. And we do get a point from your points that there's a logistic requirement at the field level, and that needs to be catered to. And that I think that would soon be catered to by the policies and the government and decision makers. So very thank you, ma'am, for highlighting all the points. And I would like to thank each and everyone who is present, who has been the part of our journey since we started this program Techneev, and it is going towards its conclusion. We will soon have a grand physical meet on the ground. So hope we'll have a community viewpoint to a much closer viewpoint. And with this hope only, we conclude today's program of Techneev. And we hope that we move towards a healthier future, a healthier society. Thank you everyone for being with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of this really very interesting discussions with people with very practical knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.